Yo, hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello? Okay. It's okay. Hello?
Yo, hello, hello, hello. What will be your name?
Andrews.
Andrews.
Sure.
The sound. Maybe so now go sit. Maybe so I don't want sit. Hello to everybody. My name is Raphael Banaman and this is Sahara Football. If you haven't subscribed to the channel as yet, please do so to click on the button below. There's our live coverage of the 2026 FIFA World Cup draw, which is currently ongoing in United States of America. Andrews will join me later on when we stream live for that is the draw. I mean, a host of nations have qualified to the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Ghana as well have qualified. The Black Stars of Ghana have qualified to the FIFA World Cup. This is our fifth participation in the 2026 FIFA World Cup. 2006, that's our maiden edition when we qualified to Germany 2006. We followed up with South Africa 2010, then in Brazil we did the 2014. In 2018 we didn't qualify. 2022 we made our appearance back in Qatar. We all saw how it went. in a group that everybody felt that we should have qualified as the second best place side. We fell off the shoulders of the road under the tutelage of Coach Otuado. I mean, as the head coach of the senior national team, the Black Stars. And we saw what happened in 2022 in Qatar. This time around, I hope that we've learned our lessons. We are back on the world stage again in the United States of America. A host of Ghanaians have been clinging and clamoring that we stay in the United States of America. I mean, we have Mexico and we have Canada as the two countries that would be joint hosts of that particular competition. But a host of Ghanaians are hoping and praying that we stay in the United States of America. It has 56 states in the United States of America. When you go to Mexico too, they have a host of states. When you go to Canada too, they also have a host of states there. So the draw will come up in the next 37 minutes. The next 37 minutes, stay and stick with us. The next 37 minutes, we'll be bringing you everything, all the juice that has got to do with the coverage of the 2026 FIFA World Cup draw that is currently ongoing in the United States of America. The John F. Kennedy Sports Center, that is the host venue for this particular draw that will be hosted in the United States of America. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel as yet, please do so to click on the button below and subscribe for every exclusive that has got to do with the 2026 FIFA World Cup. We'll be covering the rank and file of everything that has got to do with the 2026 FIFA World Cup, the interviews or the exclusives that has got to do with the 2026 FIFA World Cup. I mean, stick and stay with us. Sahara Football, we've got you covered. My name is Raphael Banaman Kwate, and that is a bit of the intro to what to expect when we do the draw proper in the next 36 minutes. So Sarah, if then starts, I then go like a whole show on itself. Okay. Okay. Charlie, make you connect the listing game. Okay.
The iPhone. Yeah. Oh, like this one. Share, no problem.
But
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. So if you fit, this is the one there. Okay. What do we do? Okay. About. You want add the he go pick up this one. Okay, so guys, I can finish here. Record one offline video giving your predictions about Ghana's group.
okay.
And you will talk here.
Sure, boss.
Trinity and this guy.
Sure. See na interface nti. Hey, Asama.
Uh, yeah, we can come now. We can come now. Yeah, that's it.
Hello and to everybody that is watching me across the globe. My name is Raphael Banaman Quote and you're welcome to Sahara Football. This is our live coverage of the 2026 FIFA World Cup, which is currently ongoing in the United States of America. That is Washington, D.C., specifically the John F. Kennedy Sports Center in Washington, D.C. of the United States of America. The Ghana Black Stars have qualified yet again to another FIFA World Cup. This is our fifth participation at the FIFA World Cup in the year 2006. We qualified to our maiden edition in Germany. We followed up with 2010 in South Africa, in Africa. Then we did a 2014 in Brazil. In 2018, that was staged in Russia. We were not able to make that qualification to Russia, but we came home. We did our homework, and we qualified to 2022 in Qatar. In Qatar, we also what happened where the Black Stars were housed in a group that had South Korea, Portugal, as well as Uruguay. But in that particular group, we just won one game, 3 goals to 2 against South Korea, and we lost against Portugal as well as Uruguay. So from then, the Black Stars have played a host of matches under the tutelage of Coach Otuado. He's doing his second coming, but he's been able to spearhead Ghana's qualification to the 2026 FIFA World Cup. He's the first black man to do so, or the first Ghanaian to do so twice for the Ghana Black Stars. And he will handle the Black Stars when we play the tournament in the United States of America, Canada, or Mexico. It depends on where the Black Stars will be placed in any of these three countries. But to help me with the discussions for today's World Cup draw, I have in studio that is Andrews. Andrews, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Yes, and Ghana is making its fifth participation at the FIFA World Cup. How are you feeling about it?
I'm feeling pumped up. It's a good feeling seeing Ghana playing at a record fifth World Cup after we made our first bow at the Mundial in the year 2006. So it's a great feeling as a Ghanaian, hoping to see the teams that we are going to face in the World Cup come next year in North America.
Talking about the World Cup in North America, I mean, prior to you coming to the studios, I'm sure you have some sort of permutations over your head about countries that you feel that the Black Stars could be facing. And off the top of your head, who do you think, or countries that you think should be favorable for the Black Stars?
Okay, so to me, I chose Canada. So I think let me go back. I typed it before coming to the studio. It's a tough one, and the interesting thing is that we can't escape some of the top teams in Pot One based on their ranking. So to be on a safer side, to play safe, I went in for Canada, Norway, and Australia.
So with Canada, a host of people feel that Canada is just a low side, or but when you look at Canada prior to this particular World Cup, they've been able to win the Gold Cup, spearhead by Bayern Munich defender Alfonso Davies. They have a host of players like Juventus forward Jonathan David. They have a host of guys in the setup that you would not want to trample over, or you not want to see them as underdogs coming into a tournament that they are one of three countries hosting this particular Mundial. And I feel that Canada will give a good account of themselves. You've seen the trajectory to how Canada have placed themselves. Because even with United States of America, when you look at the last few years, last 2 to 3 years under Mauricio Pochettino, they've not been able to do pretty well like you would have expected. But Canada, I think they are on a good side when you ask me They are doing very well in the North Americas. Some of their international friendlies that they've been playing, it's been very good.
Yes, of course, and just as you stated earlier on, they have equally good players playing in some of the top leagues in the world, especially Tajon Buchanan, who plays for, I think, Villarreal or so,
Villarreal,
yeah,
yes,
in the
Villarreal,
La Liga.
the Spanish Premier La Liga.
They also have
Alfonso
Afonso
Davis,
Davies
yes,
and Jonathan David, who plays for
Juventus,
Juventus
yeah.
in the Italian Serie A. So they have a star-studded squad, but I think with this, it's a manageable group. We can be able to fight our way through to the next stage of the competition. Yes, Canada, the last time they qualified for the World Cup was in 2022 in Qatar.
In Qatar, yeah.
Missing out in the 1986 tournament, their first appearance, and it took them so time back into the Mundial. So I think they have an equally good squad, but let's see what happens. What the permutations that I've given out.
A host of Ghanaians are hopeful that Black Stars gets a favorable group. I mean, permutation wise, I've heard you say Norway. Norway was housed in a group that had Italy, but they qualified top of that particular group. When you look at the Norway setup, firing striker, Man City forward, spearhead attacking, striker in Erling Haaland. He's been firing from all cylinders. They have another striker with Atletico Madrid, Lohot. He's also doing very well. Nusa, I think he plays in the German Bundesliga. When you look at the Norway setup, Norway doesn't have an average bang of boys, but these are boys that are committed to action. And Norway, they seem to me like a surprise package, because if you're able to win a group that had Italy, I mean, with the sort of points they racked up,
Yeah.
there is a lot I'm looking at from Norway.
Of course, and they consolidated their qualification after failing to qualify for the 2024 UEFA European Championship in Germany, and against all the odds, they braved themselves up, and against the four-time world champions in Italy,
Yeah,
they trampled over them 3 goals to 1 in the final game, which Italy supposedly was supposed to win by 9+ goals, but
which
it
is
didn't.
impossible.
Impossible.
Impossible if you ask me, to
Yeah.
beat Norway, who have been firing from all cylinders by 9 goals to 0 in the very final group game. It would have been very impossible for them.
Yeah, of course, and I think Norway, after qualifying for their first World Cup in 1998 in France, they are back again 28 years. And just as you said earlier on, Nusa plays for Red Bull Leipzig, and Boogie guy in the Erling Haaland scoring a couple of goals in there. Recently, I think on Tuesday, he scored
His 100
yes,
Premier League
becoming
goal for Man
for
City.
Man City in 111 games, fastest player to reach such a record. Alexander Solot, formerly of Real Sociedad, now with Atletico Club de Madrid, and the guy who plays for Arsenal, Martin Odegaard. So
Odegaard, he's
yes,
currently on injury, but
in-
hopefully throughout to next year, maybe he'll be able to race against
Yeah.
time and make it, because he's their sensational captain. He also captains Arsenal in the English Premier La Liga. They are currently on top of the league with 24 points from 11 games. I mean, I'm sure that they'll be counting on him.
yeah, of course, and he is the one of the experienced players within the Norwegian setup, especially in the heart of midfield. When it comes to that number 8, that central midfield role, distributing the balls to the final third of the pitch, and that's where Erling Haaland will surely come in, based on his profile as a striker. He's a typical traditional number 9. So anytime Odegaard gets the ball straight to Nusa, then Erling Haaland can pop up in the final third of the pitch to get the goal. So I think Norway have a decent squad as well, and it will be a momentous time for them. 28 years qualifying back to the World Cup, and after they qualified on the final night, it was a party in their capital, Oslo. Yes, it was a capital in Oslo at the I would say their national theatre or whatever. The citizens gathered to celebrate their qualification to the World Cup for the first time in 28 years.
So when you look at Norway's qualification to the FIFA World Cup, Erling Haaland, I mean, he scored 16 goals with 2 assists to his credit. When you look at the table, they were in Group I, and they had Italy, Israel, Estonia, as well as Moldova In 8 games, they were able to win all the 8 games. That should tell you how impressive Norway has been or were in their lead up to qualifying to the 2026 FIFA World Cup. They scored a record 37 goals and conceded just 5.
Wow.
37 goals and
Goals.
conceded 5. That is awesome by all standards.
And meaning they are defending more. They have a good defensive setup from midfield to attack. Very, very, very sharp. When you have Solot, Haaland, and Musa, just imagine what's going to happen on the field of play. Now, I've watched them. Their game against Italy, the goals that they score, they are very sharp um, up front. So I think they can also do something for their nation. 28 years in the wilderness and coming back to play in the World Cup. It's a historic achievement for them.
So when you look at the Norway setup, it has the likes of Nyland. Nyland plays for that is Nyland plays in the Spanish Premier La Liga with Sevilla. Oja Nyland. We look at their centre backs. They have the likes of Aja. Aja plays for Brentford. Ryson, Lyska, Wolf. Wolf also is an incredible fullback at the left back position. In the heart of midfield, like you mentioned, Nusa plays for RB Leipzig in the German Bundesliga. Birch also is very incredible when it comes to defensive duties for Norway. And Solot as well as Haaland leading the attack for that is Norway. In that particular group game against Italy, they beat them by 4-1. 4-1. They beat Italy. And you look at how they were able to win 8 games, all the 8 games, 24 points, 37 goals, 5 conceded. It shows you that Norway could be one of the surprise packages when it comes to the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Your last bet, that is Saudi Arabia.
I think Australia.
Australia.
Yes, from Oceania.
Yes, Oceania.
Yes, one of the finest teams when it comes to the World Cup. We have a long-standing history when it comes to FIFA World Cup matches against Australia. We met at the 2010 World Cup at the I've forgotten the stadium, but we met them and we drew 1-1. And fast forward also, I think we've played a couple of friendly matches with them as well. So when it comes to Ghana and Australia,
There's a history.
There's a history in the when the day Ayew won that penalty and Asamoah converted the penalty to equalize for Ghana after they took an early lead. And they've had a couple of players who have played over the years. Tim Cahill played for Everton. Aaron Moy once played in the English Premier League. Yedinak. And the Australians are not known for soccer or football. Theirs is
the rugby,
hockey, and other stuff. So, but in India, when it comes to the Asian Confederation, they are one of the powerhouses
when it comes to
Asian football. When you take out South Korea and Japan, they are the third force when it comes to football in Asia. So it's going to be a big matchup when we face them once again.
So that is Andrew's preempt prediction. That is for Ghana's draw. He hopes that Ghana is housed in a group that has Norway from Europe, as well as Oceania's Australia, and the last is Norway. So Norway, Australia, as well as Ghana, and the last team that he hopes Ghana will be able to match up. So let me run a bit of statistics by you before we get into the that is the draw proper. If you haven't subscribed to the channel as yet, please do so. To click on the button below. This is Sahara Football, and this is our live draw or our live coverage of the ongoing FIFA World Cup draw. The Black Stars will know our opponents by the close of the draw to see who we are going to face in the tournament that will be staged hopefully next year in the North America. That is United States of America, Mexico, as well as Canada. These are the North American countries that have or would jointly host this particular competition. So the co-host, like I already mentioned, will have AFC. That is AFC countries that have qualified. We have Australia, Iran, Japan, Jordan, Korea, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, as well as Uzbekistan. So these are countries that have qualified from AFC. It looks like a front force, a very solid force when it comes to AFC's countries that have qualified.
And we have the usual suspects in the Islamic Republic of Iran. You can talk of Mehdi Taremi, one of their key strikers, who plays in the Greek Super League with Olympiacos. Recently scored against Real Madrid in the Champions League. They had one player who played for Brighton, Jahangbach. She's also so the Iranian national team when it comes to football, one of the powerhouses in Asia. But a surprise package is Uzbekistan,
Yes.
and they have Manchester City player Kushanov
Yeah.
in their fold, and their qualification is surprising. They had to amend their local league.
Mm.
They built academies across the country and bringing some of the best brains in football right into their country. They are not known for football, but here they are qualifying for their first ever World Cup, and they started from the basics, making sure that the structures were working, and through that they've chalked that success of playing in the World Cup for the first time. And also Jordan. Jordan is not a powerhouse or a top-notch country when it comes to football, but FIFA's idea of growing the game, expanding the competition to a 48-team tournament has given room for other countries to give their best in terms of qualification. And I must say that I'm really impressed with Jordan and Uzbekistan selling a ticket to North America come next year.
So talking about expansion of the FIFA World Cup, Arsenal, former Arsenal manager and current FIFA technical director Arsene Wenger was actually of the view that the World Cup should be expanded because even with like 48 countries that have qualified, they represent just about a handful of percentage out of 225 countries we have in the world, and you have just 48 countries out of 225. I mean, it doesn't speak so good about a tournament that is supposed to represent a global showpiece.
Yeah, of course, and we have other countries also emerging onto the football scene because always it's always the usual suspect, the big boys playing and going to the final, either Spain, Argentina, Brazil. But if we widen the net and get other countries, just as Arsene Wenger is saying, then we can have more competition when it comes to the tournament proper. Always having the big boys competing among themselves, we won't get that kind of competition. It will become boring. But if we have some surprises, maybe a team like New Caledonia beats Brazil, then we'll have that kind of excitement because they also want to grow their football. And I think in the future there might be some tweaks to the FIFA World Cup with more nations in there.
Hopefully, we have an expansion that has close to 64, 84 countries participating in the FIFA World Cup. Let's move on to other countries that have qualified. So you have the CONCACAF region, Curacao, Haiti, as well as Panama. These are countries that have qualified from the CONCACAF region. In the CONMEBOL region, we have the usual suspects: Argentina, Brazil, Colombia, Ecuador, Paraguay, as well as Uruguay. These are countries that have qualified for CONMEBOL. These are the usual suspects. Every now and then from CONMEBOL, they present this strong force as countries that have earned qualification to the World Cup.
Of course, and Brazil nearly missed out on qualification for the World Cup, and it took Carlo Ancelotti's magic to see them to the World Cup. They lost some matches at home, especially against Argentina, drawing against Uruguay, and the supporters were really they bastardized the players, and they were like, oh, we should rather use the locally based players instead of the foreign based players, because anytime they come to the national team they don't give their best. And this is synonymous to Ghana. We say if the buggers come down, they don't perform very. Why don't we use
The local
boys rather? And if you look at the Brazilian national team over the years, the team that won their 5 World Cups was made up of locally based players. The Jairzinhos, the Rivellinhos. You can talk of Garincha, Zico, and the rest. These were locally produced players playing for Bahia, Sao Paulo, Fluminense, and others. So that has been the belief. And anytime these players get opportunity to play in Europe, they dominate, and they were dominating. And I think yes, it's good, and it's good seeing Paraguay back in the World Cup. The last time they played in the World Cup, was in 2010 in South Africa. That was the last time they qualified for the World Cup.
So
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 yeah,
Paraguay making it to the World Cup in that is USA. Let's look at the European countries that have qualified. You have Austria, you have Belgium, Croatia, England, France, Germany, Netherlands, Norway, Portugal. So Cristiano Ronaldo is coming back to the World Cup again. I mean, he wants to win the World Cup before he eventually retires. Messi has won his World Cup already. Let's hope that the Portuguese boys will rally behind Cristiano and help him win his World Cup so that he can bow out in peace. You have Scotland, led by Scott McTominay. He's doing very well for Napoli in the Italian Serie A, as well as Spain and Switzerland. So these are the countries that have qualified from the European region.
and we'll have to talk about Scotland. They've been on ascendancy for some time now, and even the Euros they took part. The last time they played in the World Cup was 28 years ago in France, 1998, and since then they've not qualified. But thanks to Scott McTominay, Billy Gilmore, they have equally good players within their ranks, and their head coach Steve Clark is also doing a great job in there. They have some of their players also playing in the English Championship, the Premier League, and other countries as well. So it's a blend of a team that is doing so. So I had the opportunity of watching one game they played against, I think, is it Latvia or one of the teams. They won by 2 goals to 1. And Scott McTominay and Billy Gilmore scored those important goals. And now their key player in the setup is Scott McTominay.
Yeah.
He's their key player. He won the Italian Serie A best player. That was some few days ago.
Yeah,
Andy
yeah.
Robertson is also in there. Ryan Christie, who plays for AFC Bournemouth in
Yeah.
the English Premier League, is also in there. But it's going to be a tough one. And if they get to know their group, probably they can also do something in the World Cup. I don't see them moving out of the group. It's going to be a tough one. Coming back to playing the World Cup for the first time in 28 years and carrying the weight of an entire nation on your shoulders.
It's not going to be easy.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy.
Let's do Africa. So in Africa, you have Algeria, Cape Verde, Cote d'Ivoire, Egypt, Morocco, Senegal, South Africa, Tunisia, as well as the senior national team, the Black Stars. So these are countries that have qualified from Africa, and there's huge hopes for African countries that have qualified.
Of course, and now we have 9 slots, which might increase to 10 if DR Congo gets that safe passage to the World Cup through the interconfederational playoffs. I think it's a fair reflection of what we've seen so far, but but I would say that during the draw for the playoff, we saw what happened. Some countries had their points chopped off,
Yes.
thereby giving the opportunity for some teams to play. And we had Burkina Faso complaining, some of their players complaining as to why CAF decided to cut some of their points to allow some teams qualify. We had Madagascar and others in there, but I think some of the big boys are going, and Nigeria couldn't qualify.
Oh, more Niger!
So it's interesting.
Oh, Niger!
Yeah.
Oh, Niger, don't worry. You can watch us. I mean, you can power your gen set and be watching us. I mean, the Black Stars. Watch us from wherever you can watch us. Support us. I mean, we are brothers. Eh? The Ghana, Nigeria, Jollof and everything. I mean, after everything, we can always sit around a bottle of Mirinda or Pepsi or Coke, and we can eat Jollof as well. Niger, support us. I mean, you know, we are all blood brothers. You understand? When you are from Nigeria, you can come to Ghana, from Ghana to Nigeria. I mean, we are brothers all along. So, Nigeria failed to qualify to the World Cup. I mean, there's been a host of issues, but with the sort of talent that abound is in Nigeria, I felt that they should have been able to qualify in a group that had South Africa as well as Rwanda. I felt that they should have qualified, but you know, these things, if you don't get the basics right at the end of the day, if you don't take care, you'll be unable to mend your broken net. So 6 countries would have to do the playoffs. You have Bolivia, Congo DR from Africa, Iraq, Jamaica, New Caledonia, as well as Suriname. So these are 6 countries that will do the playoffs for a qualification to add up to the other countries that have qualified.
Yes, and it's interesting to note that talking about the interconfederational playoffs, the draw was conducted based on the FIFA rankings, and Iraq and DR Congo, per the rankings, they are highest ranked teams in there. And I'm expecting DR Congo to make Africa proud. We need that 10th slot for the World Cup. And the last time DR Congo played at the World Cup was in 1974, known
Wow,
as
that's
Zaire.
that's a long time
That
ago.
was a long time, and in that World Cup, they lost against Kosovo and other countries in there. And their last game was against Brazil, and their former president told them to win the final game. If they don't, they shouldn't step into the country.
That's a threat.
That was a threat. And one player, Brazil got a free kick right in front of their box, and the player decided to kick the ball because they were acting based on instructions from their president, because they've already lost their first two games in the World Cup, and their final game was against Brazil. The player kicked the ball, thereby um, generating or sparking naive perceptions about African football. So that was the last time they played in the World Cup in 1974. But if you look at the players they have within their fold, recently they defeated Cameroon and defeated Nigeria. The two powerhouses
In African football. Yeah.
Against a team like DR Congo, Chancel Mbemba, Sami Mutusami,
Wan Bissaka. Yeah.
Impasi, and the rest. They have a good squad, and they've qualified for the AFCON as well. And I would say it was interesting when they stormed their way past Cameroon and Nigeria against all the us two
In the playoffs.
yeah, in Morocco, and they'll be playing in the interconfederational playoff, because as an African and from an African perspective, I want an African country to be in the World Cup. Yes, 10 slots, so that perception that the West have for African football, that when we go to the tournament we don't perform very well, we have to erase that perception. And I'm glad Morocco did us a good favor when
they did the semi-finals.
Yes, they reached the semi-final and finished fourth, thereby giving us hope that Africa can do something.
I mean, in 2010, Ghana was on the brink of qualification to the semi-finals until Luis Suarez handled that particular penalty. It brings back a lot of memories. When you ask me for that particular penalty, I felt that, I mean, they were back and forth as to who was supposed to play that penalty, whether it was Asamajan or Stephen Appiah, but I mean, we all know what happened. Ghana eventually lost on penalties to Uruguay, and a very, very heartfelt and very painful when you ask me.
Yeah. It was. It brings back fond memories at the Soccer City Stadium in Johannesburg. And you know something? That day, I was at home. Well, I bought food. Well, we bought food to eat.
Yeah.
But we didn't eat because of the game.
Oh
yeah.
We were hoping to eat after the game.
That Ghana was going to secure
okay.
a victory. Sule Muntari scored. Diego Forlan equalized. Asamoah, that Africa United team,
yes,
the whole of Africa was behind us.
Was well behind.
And he just crashed the ball against the goalpost. And according to Asamoah, the technique he has been using in training for that penalty, he couldn't believe that day it didn't materialize for him, because Stephen Appiah was going to play the penalty and he gave it to Asamoah after that committee investigation and all that, because at that time Asamoah was our best penalty
yes.
kick taker.
Yes,
and
yes.
We were just a kick away
from sealing qualification
to the semi-finals.
And you know, after that, people raised a lot of issues that Asamoah wanted to be the first player from Africa to have close to 5 goals, because the player with the most goals was Roger Milla from Cameroon, and Asamoah was chasing that record of beating and also surpassing him, but it didn't happen. He mixed that kick, and eventually Ghana was ousted on penalties. If we had won that penalties, we would have sealed qualification to the semi-finals, and probably if there was opportunity for him to score in the semi-finals, then he would have made that record for him. But I mean, that is so many years under the bridge, 15 years away from now. But if you haven't subscribed to the channel last year, please do so to subscribe to the channel. This is Sahara Football. This is our watch along party of the 2026 FIFA World Cup that is currently ongoing in the USA, that is the Washington D.C. A host of soccer stars, a host of football players, a host of personalities across the globe have have come to, that is the USA, to witness this draw. Off the top of my head, I've seen our own Baby Jet Asamoah. He's represented there. I've seen Roberto Carlo Ancelotti. I've seen that is Shaquille O'Neal. He's a basketball player, former basketball player. I've seen Kaka, former Brazil international. He played for AC Milan. I'm currently seeing on my screens Wyclef Jean. He's one of a popular musician when it comes. He's based in the USA. One of the that is the popular musicians, if I would put it. And a host of stars have currently made it to Donald Trump. Yeah, the USA president, one of controversial man. He's currently there with FIFA president Infantino. And I mean, I've seen a host of other guys there.
Yeah, of course. And the pageantry making the FIFA World Cup draw a colorful one.
Yeah.
And it's a big tournament. It comes around every 4 years. So
Yeah.
we having the big boys coming around to support is good. And our very own Asamoah Gyan.
Yes.
Yes, he's
Asama. Ewele Monko.
Ewele Monko.
Yeah.
He just recently had an appointment from CAF.
Yeah.
And I think he's really promoting African soccer. And he has really paid his dues when it comes to Ghana football, playing in major tournaments, the African Cup of Nations, Africa's highest goal scorer in the history of the World Cup with 6 goals.
Yeah.
And his final goal at the World Cup came in 2014 against Portugal.
Against Portugal, one
Against
of the big
Portugal,
weights when it comes to European football.
When we lost by 2 goals to 1. So Asamoah Gyan has done his bit, and he's one of the lethal strikers to have played the game.
Talking about Asama Bibijejan, he's a player that everybody knows him when it comes to football. I mean, Ewele Monko, Baby Jet, started his trade with Liberty Babies, then to Liberty, he did Udinese, then Stade Rennais. After Stade Rennais, I mean, he's had ties with Sunderland in the English Premiership. He went to Al Ain, then he went to a bit of China, then Asamoah ended up with Legon Cities in the Ghana Premier League. That is about 3 to 4 years ago. Just recently, the Ghana Football Association has announced that they will play a ceremonial match in his honor. I feel it was a step in the right direction, considering that Asamoah has achieved so much with the Black Stars. The mention of the Ghana Black Stars name anywhere in Europe, the very first name that comes to mind is Asamoah Gyan, and I feel that he's paid his quota to the Black Stars and to us as Ghanaians.
Yeah, of course. Well said there. And I think Asamoah Gyan needs no introduction. We need to celebrate him. And you see, one thing worrying us in this country, we are deficient with, as a country, is celebrating our legends. And there's a saying that a country which doesn't honor its heroes or heroines isn't worth dying for. We as Ghanaians, we always use our mouth to retire our players early. Asamoah Gyan, proud to the 2019 AFCON, we all heard what happened. We all saw what happened.
Yeah.
This captaincy issue, a whole captain sitting on the bench for them. This is a man who did his best for Ghana. In the 2015 AFCON, we played in
Cote d'Ivoire, I think in Cote d'Ivoire.
Equatorial Guinea.
Equatorial Guinea, yes.
That game against Algeria, Asamoah Gyan had malaria.
Yeah.
But
he still went on
in the
to
final. He still played for the Black Stars, so we need to celebrate him. And he playing at his first World Cup, scoring against Czech Republic.
Yeah.
That goal is scored against the United States of America. Since Asamoah Gyan retired, we've not had
any lethal striker in his capacity.
Yes.
I mean, there's been a host of strikers that have come in his place. We had Felix Afenajan. He came, he played in, that is the 2 qualifiers against Nigeria. I mean, from then he sank low. I mean, he plays in the Italian Serie A, I think around the Serie C, if my memory serves me right. We've had a host of players. Semenyo has played in the striking position. Inaki Williams has played there. Quite recently, we've had Osman Bukari, Brendan Thomas, Asante. I mean, we've had a lot of players that have come in and out of the Black Stars in that particular number 9 role, but we've not had anybody that has been able to make that position its own.
Of course, and we are still on a search for that lethal number 9 striker, and I don't know if Prince Kwabnedu, the guy who scored that
Victoria
goal
Pilsen.
against South Korea, people are
Yes.
tipping him to be Asamoah Gyan's heir to the throne. And I think that goal he scored against South Korea, he had ice in his veins and the ability to sit down the keeper and score. I was like, wow, this is a typical striker's goal.
Yeah.
But what we are lacking in our team is a creative player, like the Kojo Asamoah type of player who can hold the ball, create movement, create chances for the strikers to score. And that was what Asamoah Gyan was getting. He had as Steven Tornado appear,
Michael
Michael
Essien, Sule
Essien,
Muntari,
all
like
around him.
Kingston, Asamoah.
Asamoah Gyan,
I mean, the left back, Kodjo Asamoah.
Kojo
These are
Asamoah,
guys that had clear vision on how the game should go. These are guys that could just purport any pass from any angle. And I feel that in the last few years, we've missed that with the Black Stars. But hopefully, like you are saying, Prince Kwabena Edu can be the new gem. I'm hoping that he goes to the World Cup. I'm just hoping that he goes to the World Cup for the Black Stars. So this is still our live watch along coverage of the 2026 FIFA World Cup, which is currently ongoing at the John F. Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. of the United States of America. We've had time to talk about countries that have qualified to the World Cup. Currently, we have 42 countries that have qualified. And we are still waiting for 6 more to join up. In a matter of, let's say, weeks, we'll have, that is the Inter Confederations Cup competition that will have the other countries participate and seal qualification to, that is the FIFA World Cup. But currently, since 42 countries have qualified, we'll do the draw, then we'll know where Ghana will be placed. I am overly optimistic that Ghana will get a favorable World Cup group. I'm hopeful that Ghana gets a group that will be favorable for us. I'm hoping that Ghana will be able to do very well because we've had the Black Stars in leaps and bounds. We've had to surmount a lot of hurdles in the lead up to this particular World Cup. We've had close to over 60 players that have auditioned to play for us. And I mean, if my memory serves me right, I'm just hoping that out of these 60 players, we are able to select 25 good players that will be able to represent Ghana at the FIFA World Cup. So, if you haven't subscribed to the channel as yet, please do so to click on the button below and subscribe to the channel. By the end of watch along, you know the countries that are pitted against each other in every group, from group A to the very last group of this particular groups. So we'll do group A, we'll do group B, C, D, and the ensuing groups. We'll know where Ghana is placed, we'll know where Morocco is placed, we'll know where Cape Verde is placed, we'll know where Algeria, Tunisia is placed. The North Africans are heavily represented by Morocco, Tunisia, Algeria, and when it comes to Egypt as well. And talking about Egypt, let me touch a bit of Egypt and say that comes to Mohamed Salah, Salah has not really impressed me in the last few games for Liverpool, and that has even affected it. But I'm just hoping that, I mean, that sort of form that he has in the lead up to the World Cup, it won't happen that he's still on that slow form.
Yeah. Mohamed Salah has really been in the spotlight for his recent performance in the English Premier League. I think the absence of Trent Alexander-Arnold has really affected Mohamed Salah's game at Liverpool because anytime when Trent was around, he could just lift his head up, kick the ball into space for Mohamed Salah. But Salah is not getting those services again, and I think it has really affected him. This is the player who scored 29 goals last season in the English Premier League.
Yeah.
He won the league with Liverpool in Ancelot's first season, PFA Player of the Year, and all of a sudden it's not going on well for him. And in 2 games that Liverpool have played, he has been on the bench. So it sends clear signals that he has to up his game. But I think Mohamed Salah has done enough. Even if this season he doesn't get the numbers that Liverpool are requiring him, or we sports pundits and connoisseurs are wishing him to get, I think Salah has really paid his dues. And even if he leaves Liverpool today, he's a legend in his own right. He shouldn't win another trophy for us to see his quality again. Because Salah has really told us out of nowhere in 2017, joining Liverpool after having a failed
A
how do
failed
I
stint. A
yes,
failed
with
stint
Chelsea, one of the um, players who couldn't hit the ground running at
at
Chelsea, and
Chelsea.
moving all
Yeah.
the way to Liverpool. Liverpool that year were looking for other options for their attack. Brandt, Julian Draxler, and others. And one of their sporting directors, Richard Hughes, and head of scouting, said there's a player in Italy. He's really doing so. They went for Mohamed Salah.
He was playing for AS Roma at the time.
Yes, and he in his first season he scored the most goals in the English Premier League, 32 goals that season, and he finished as one of the key players for Liverpool, and his record was broken by Erling Haaland. And since then, Mohamed Salah will always give you 19 goals or 20 goals a season. So I think Salah has done well, but just that he's having a rough patch of late as a result of the transition, the new face Liverpool are entering. So I think Salah has done well. When you look at the Egyptian national team, just that it's not going on well for the Egyptian national team. We're expecting that you replicate that same form when it comes to the national setup. But sometimes the players that you play also can also influence how you play in the national team. The coach's tactics also comes into play.
Talking about a very sensitive issue, in a little of 3 or 4 months ago, Liverpool lost one of their biggest stars, Diego Jota from Portugal, and news has said that Jota was one of the closest friends of Mohamed Salah. So, to a very large extent, um, Jota's demise might have taken a big toll on Mohamed Salah, and that has culminated in his performance, his average performance, because per Mohamed Salah heights, or his sort of um, standards that we know him, Mohamed Salah hitting double figures and scoring double assists for Liverpool, helping them in the clinching the English Premiership. One would have expected that, but I mean, everybody handles grief
Yeah.
in their own way, and to a very large extent, that might have had a toll on Mohamed Salah.
Of course, I agree with you because having one of your key players dying prior to the start of the season, um, there's that kind of pressure on you. Even when you are playing, you don't have that kind of excitement on the field of play. Because Diego Jota was an impeccable character for Liverpool, one of the main forces within the Liverpool setup. The games that Liverpool were losing, Liverpool needed a hero. Then Jota will come in and score. I remember a game Liverpool played last season against Fulham. They were down by 2 goals to 1. They needed a savior. They needed a draw. Out of nowhere, Diogo Jota came in and scored that goal, and they secured a draw against Everton. He came on and scored that winning goal. So I think Jota's death has really affected Mohamed Salah indeed. If you are close to someone, the proximity of his or her death will always have that kind of telling effect on you.
So that turning effect has been very, very major on Mohamed Salah. We've seen his performances for Liverpool in the English Premiership. It's not been fought well. It's not been encouraging. In the last few games, he's been dropped by Coach Ancelotti because his performances have not been encouraging, and they drew their last game against that is Sunderland. That game they nearly lost that particular game, but for a last gasp, Federico Chiesa save on last goal, this clearance. If not, they would have lost that particular game. But Egypt will rely heavily on Mohamed Salah. Egypt will rely very heavily on Mohamed Salah. The hope is that if he's unable to churn those performances for Liverpool, it will take a huge toll on Egypt when it comes to the World Cup. When you look at Ghana Black Stars, I mean, there are a host of players that will be relying on. Antoine Semenyo I mean, he's been a big hit for Bournemouth. In the lead up to the start of the season, there were reports that he could join. That is Liverpool. That news was crushed in the course of the season as he got a bumper deal with Bournemouth. But that news has resurfaced again. People are saying that because of his non-participation at the AFCON, it's possible that Liverpool will get him. I'm hopeful that he gets a big move. It's in a step in the right direction. Semenyo, I'm hopeful that Semenyo will hit good heights for that is the Black Stars, and let's see how Semenyo fares.
Of course, and we are not participating at the AFCON. So
Yes.
if he gets a move to Liverpool or Manchester United, it will be a big plus for him to be playing at the highest level. At least Semenyo hasn't done bad. 6 goals, 3 assists in the league this season. A double brace on the opening day against Liverpool
Yeah.
at Anfield Stadium.
Yeah.
And he's that kind of player who can offer you options on the field of play. He can play as a typical centre forward. He can operate from the wide areas as well. So he will give Liverpool many options on the field of play. And if you look at the modern game, how football has evolved. Gone are the days that we had a typical central striker, but now teams are going in for players or strikers who can be converted or become inverted attackers who have the ability to cut in and shoot. And Semenyo is one of those players. He is very direct with the ball. He can make a run at defenders. So I think when it comes to Liverpool, he will suit into their setup, and we hope and pray that that same form will replicate at the World Cup. Because truth be told, we need our players, our best players in the squad, to perform well for their team, so that we can take that form to the World Cup. Because one of our players, Kosi Sibu, is not getting much playing time at Real Oviedo, and it's a major worry for the Black Stars. So if Semenyo gets a move to Liverpool, why not? But I'm also thinking if he goes to Liverpool and doesn't get playing time,
It could affect his chances of
Yes.
playing at the FIFA World
World
Cup
Cup.
next year.
Yeah.
Talking about Kwesi Sibo, he was a big, let's say, revelation when it comes to the Black Stars. In the last, I think he played in the last 3 to 4 games for Black Stars. He impressed the technical handlers of the Black Stars. His midfield combo with Thomas Stepper, I think the heart of midfield, it won a lot of hearts. People felt that he impressed in that particular role. In the absence of Elisha Owusu as well as Abdul Salih Samet, who plays for OJ Nice in the French League. Kwesi Sebo, he played very well. But I mean, going back to Spain or going back to Rio Oviedo, he's had chances very limited. He's not been able to play. And like you mentioned, we need our players to be in a great form in the lead up to the World Cup, because if you have your players playing consistently for their club side, it's of no use carrying them to the World Cup, because you might as well play other players that are in good form that will be able to help your cause as a coach handling any of the national team. So I'm looking at a player like Mohamed Kudus. Kudus is our star boy. He's our poster boy. He's our Cristiano Ronaldo. He's our Lionel Messi. He's our everything. And I feel that a player like Mohamed Kudus needs that sort of support. And consistently, I've always been of the view that he's been misprofiled when it comes to club football. And even when he plays for the Black Stars, he's consistently been misprofiled.
of course, and there's been times that Kudus was used as a number 10. I remember in the AFCON qualifiers, one game he played as a typical number 10, but where he's very effective is close to goal. We saw what he did against Newcastle United.
Yeah, that hit and that shot.
Yes.
Yes.
And even against Fulham, on that side of the pitch, he got the ball first touch and he just drove the ball into the roof of the net beyond the reach of Ben Leno. And from that same position, that right wing position, he delivered a switch cross to Christian Gabriel Romero, who scored that bicycle kick to end Tottenham Hotspur's that point against Newcastle United at the St James's Park.
That's
And so I
2-2
agree
draw.
with you. We've misprofiled some of our players when it comes to the senior national team, because when they go to club side, their coaches do play them in their right places. A player like Inaki Williams, he's not a typical number 9. He can play though as a number 9, but he loves to operate from either the left or the right hand side. But when it comes to Ghana, people will be like, oh, and he's not doing well and all that. But it's as a result of the coach on the bench. You should know how to use the players based on their um, profile and what the option they can also offer you on the field of play.
So talking about Mohamed Kudus, where do you think that Otto should deploy him when it comes to the Black Stars so that he might be very effective and effectual for the Black Stars?
Up front, in the World Cup, we need him up front because we'll be playing against teams who know us very very well and they know Kudus. So when Kudus plays up there, he can draw
A lot of fouls.
fouls and also penalties for us. So that should be the idea. If you play him as a number 10, you restrict him. So let him play up front. And sometimes I also think it depends on the coach and the team that we will be facing. Maybe if you are playing a team that loves to sit deep, then you need a player who can do more of the dribbling, make sure that he gets into the final third and creates penalties. But yes, I agree. Let's see how it goes. But if need be, we should just let him play up front and give him that free role to play, draw fouls, create penalties, and create dangerous moments on the field of play. And he shouldn't be selfish. That's one thing Kudus should guard against. He shouldn't be selfish at all. Sometimes he get the ball, dribbles,
You
and
think
he just
he overdoes it? He
Yes,
overdoes
he
the simple things.
expresses himself on the field of play. So I think he has to be proactive and endearing up front.
So this live coverage of the 2026 FIFA World Cup draw, which is currently ongoing in the United States of America, Washington D.C., the John F. Kennedy Sports Center. Ghana is participating in its fifth World Cup. You have Africa having 9 countries that have qualified to the 2026 FIFA World Cup. By far, this is the highest that Africa has had. Gennaro Gattuso, the Italian manager, some time back, opined that, I mean, per the number of countries that Africa were getting, it was too much, and he felt that Europe should be getting more. His reservation hit a lot of Africans. There were a lot of backlash. I, for one, felt that it was mistimed, it was wrong, and it didn't serve the purpose for why he made that speech. I don't know what you make of that comment from Gennaro Gattuso, the Italian manager.
It's a flat statement he made because at least we also need to grow the game. So in an attempt to grow the game, why don't we also open the net for other teams to also come and participate? Because anytime the World Cup is played, it's only the Western world who get the opportunity. So what if the slots are increased then based on the 48 team format? Africa also needs more slots so that we can also compete. What if next year an African team gets to the final? So you see, even your country couldn't qualify for the World Cup and you are downplaying we Africans. That has been the perception of the Western world against we Africans, meaning that we Africans we can't do anything. But these same countries do benefit from our talents.
Yeah.
There was a time that Mario Balotelli stated clearly that if need be, Africa should boycott certain events and create their own tournaments and play, because we have black players from Africa playing for France, playing for Italy, playing for England. Most of the black players are playing everywhere that you go on planet. There's a black man there, and there's a black man playing for that team. Even Qatar have a player playing, a black man in there. So why should he make such a statement? I think that statement was dead upon arrival and he got the backlash, and I really like the way he received the backlash because Africans here are doing, because we equally have good players that who are even better than the so-called Western world players. Just that one thing that these white people always beat us with is facilities that they have. When it comes to talent, my brother, they don't have talent than we Africans. When you go to Nima, when you go to Kaukudi, any part of Accra, even in this community, La Paz, you still get talent playing, but just that they are not getting the spotlight.
Or they needed
But
support.
yes, but that doesn't mean that Italy are doing better than us. Italy, why are they not qualifying for the World Cup? It's been almost 3 editions now. The 3rd edition is coming, and they've not qualified. Do you know the reason why? Now football in Italy has gone down. They did the research because back in the days when you go to Italy, in Milan, Verona and other places, kids were playing football on the street. But now football has gone extinct in the country. Even their league is not
The Italian
performing.
Serie A.
Yes, it's not doing so well, and it's even affecting the Italian national team. Gone were the days that Italy could produce quality players, but look at the players that the Italian national team is having now. You can't compare it to the golden era. So I think even Gennaro Gattuso wasn't an exceptional player during his playing days. The only thing he had was that
That
hard yes, that's the only
aggressiveness.
thing he had. But we had better players in Africa than him. But just that he's from a country that has facilities and all that. So I think Africans also deserve respect.
Africans deserve respect, and hopefully, Africa will get their rightful place at the FIFA World Cup that will be staged in North America next year. Currently live in the Washington D.C. Donald Trump, the United States of American president, he's currently being presented with an award from the FIFA president Gianni Infantino. I mean, this is an award to celebrate and honor Donald Trump. I mean, his country has opened their doors up. His country has accepted to host the FIFA World Cup, and there's a competition that a host of countries clamor every 4 years to host. This time around is going to the North America. You have the United States of America as one of the countries, Canada, their neighboring country to the right, as well as Mexico, their neighboring country to the left. These are countries that have accepted to host the FIFA World Cup. And next year, we'll have that particular competition going on. Like I said, 42 countries have qualified to the FIFA World Cup. 42 countries have qualified. And today we are witnessing the live draw. We are currently doing the live draw that will have all these 42 countries pitted in one group or the other. At the end of the day, we'll see where all the African countries, 9 African countries, as things stand now. We'll see where all of them will be pitted. We'll see which countries they'll be faced against. So you are hopeful of the countries and a favorable draw they will get.
Of course, and we might be seeing some countries who faced each other in the past being drawn in the same group, especially Ghana. The possibility of we playing against Australia, Portugal, and other countries is also in there. So probably we are going to see favorable groups. At least you need one or two whipping boys in the group. At least those that you can beat them. But now football has evolved.
Yes,
A
yes. I
country
mean,
like
tremendously.
yes,
Football has evolved.
Haiti,
Haiti doing the qualification, Curacao doing the qualification, New
qualification,
Caledonia doing qualification. I'm like,
Cabo
wow.
Verde, Cape Verde
Cape
also.
Verde, Cape Verde. But you see, Cape Verde, and there's been a trajectory to how Cape Verde have played in the last
Yeah.
2 to 5 years. Cape Verde, if you look at the AFCONs that they've qualified to and how they've played, even recently in our neighboring country, Ivory Coast, we saw what they did there. And it tells you that countries have evolved, countries are uh, imbibing new trends. Countries are making sure that they invite the best talents. You look at Cape Verde like this, an array of their boys are playing in Portugal.
Yeah.
Most of their boys are playing the second or third division or either the Premier La Liga in Portugal. So it tells you that countries are inviting the best of talents. Countries are making sure that they have the right facilities to have their boys play on. And I feel that when you put the basics right, at the end of the day, you reap the dividends. And that's what we see Cape Verde do. They've reaped the dividends. They've qualified to the World Cup. I mean, for me, on a very lighter note, one thing I'm happy about is the Cabo Verde women. I mean, the women, the women that are going to be on our screens in Cape Verde. Charlie, they have one of the Charlie, Cape Verde, like I forgo that I go do some 1-2 for them because Charlie, they have fine women.
The country to no big like that.
Like some 500,000 or something
Yeah.
population. I mean, to have qualified to the World Cup, their very first time, and you look at the talent they have at their disposal and what they've been doing on the African scene. I mean, it tells you that Cape Verde are here to stay. They are here to rub shoulders with the big boys.
And of course they have a really good team. Bebe, who plays
Former
in the
Manchester United player.
United. Their head coach, Luis Britao Bubista, bringing the team to this far. They did so well, even beating Ghana in the AFCON and reaching the knockout stages of the tournament. So, and surprising enough, if Cape Verde, assuming Cape Verde have brought back their legendary players with Cape Verdean roots, we could have been one of the powerhouses in African football, world football. Henrik Larsson comes into mind. Patrick Vieira also hails from the Cape Verde Islands. Cristiano Ronaldo, his grandmother hailed from Cape Verde Islands, moved to Madeira in Portugal, married a Portuguese man, gave birth to Cristiano Ronaldo's mother. So Cristiano Ronaldo, um, his roots are also tied to the Cape Verde Islands. And Nani is also a Cape Verdean. So I think they've done so well, bringing some of their players from Portugal, making sure that they integrate them into the system. And that's one thing that's really helping some of these Portuguese colonies, teams, countries like Angola, Sao Tome, Mozambique, and Cape Verde. So I think Cape Verde, they've done so well off the west coast of Africa, and they have some of the finest women you can talk about. I remember
the woman here then get them.
Oh yeah,
The woman here then get them.
beautiful
Hey,
ladies.
Charlie. Cape Verde, yeah. Cape Verde. I go. Cape Verde expect me. I'll be there. Like in December, there I'll come. I'll come. So talking about the FIFA World Cup. So the World Cup will be spread across 16 host cities and 3 countries, like I've mentioned. Mexico is there. You have USA as well as Canada. So talking about the locations or the cities that will do the hosting in the United States, we have Atlanta. Atlanta is one of the cities. You have Boston, Dallas, Houston, Kansas Cities, Los Angeles, Miami. You have New York or New Jersey. The MetLife Sports Stadium, that was one of the stadiums that hosted the Club World Cup, and even the final, that was the stadium that hosted the FIFA Club World Cup. They will be hosting the final of the FIFA World Cup next year. You have Philadelphia, San Francisco Bay Arena, as well as Seattle. So these are countries or cities, I should put it, cities from the USA: Atlanta, Boston, Dallas, Houston, Kansas City, Los Angeles, Miami, New York, Philadelphia, San Francisco, as well as Seattle. So these are host cities in the USA. When we go to, that is Canada, we have Toronto as well as Vancouver. These are the 2 cities that will be doing the hosting in Canada. When we move to Mexico, you have Mexico City as well as Monterrey and also Guadalajara. These are cities that will be doing the country. So 16 host cities. I'm hopeful that the Black Stars will do the USA, because a host of people have been hoping for USA.
Yeah, of course, and why not? You and I know that US in a holiday, the land of possibilities. But someone is asking, the Philadelphia, and is it the Philadelphia Doom Yami? That's just by the way. So even my brother right now, if we get USA, we go.
Yeah.
Because that place is the land of possibilities.
I know, right?
If you are suffering and you go there, there's that belief that you make it within a short time. But I think yes, the US deserve it, because they have everything in terms of facilities. When you talk about the USA, they are the giants of the world. When they speak, countries keep quiet. You understand? When America says something, you don't have a say. Look at what is happening in Nigeria with the Christian and Muslim thing. Christians being kidnapped. They issued a warning to Nigeria that if those atrocities don't stop, the USA are going to move in to handle the situation. And you see how the back and forth is going. So geopolitically, they have that kind of influence. So I think it's going to be a big one in USA, in Kansas, in Boston, Massachusetts, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, a whole lot. So USA, they have what it takes to host the World Cup, and the World Cup will be making a return to the United States of America for the first time in 32 years after it was played 1994, with the final being played at the Rose Bowl Stadium in Pasadena. Brazil beating Italy on penalty shootout, with Roberto Baggio missing that penalty. So the US entertainment, sports, what have you, that's where the big boys decide to go and have fun. So and also Canada, not they're also a country doing so well when it comes to bilingual wise. They have they speak French and English in places like Toronto, Vancouver, British Columbia, Alberta, Quebec, and all that. Mexico also comes in Guadalajara. You can talk of Monterrey. Monterrey FC is a city, and they also have a team.
Yes, yes,
That's
Montreal
where
FC.
Sergio Ramos
Sergio
plays.
Ramos.
It's one of the finest cities, and surely the Azteca Stadium, one of the iconic
Stadiums,
stadiums
yeah.
in the world, which hosted the 1986 World Cup, will also be on show. So next year, there me like
You're
me
pumped.
person,
You're pumped. You're hyped. You're
I'm
hyped.
hyped up, Bosu. I'm hyped up because I wish the World Cup would start today.
Today.
Eh,
Make you not fear. Make you not fear. Make
so
you not
that
fear.
our man will take us
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Selassie. Last
It
time
be,
he was
it,
in
be,
US.
it be necessary. We forgo the USA go experience.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
choose
yeah.
some for there. So it's our live coverage of the 2026 FIFA World Cup draw, which is currently ongoing at the JFK World Center in Washington D.C. A host of stars have gathered in plethora. They are currently awaiting the draw. I've seen Ronald Koeman. He is currently the head coach of the Dutch national team. He's there. He is there to know the team that his country will be facing. Roberto Carlos. He needs no mention when it comes to world football and Brazilian national team. He served his quota. He was on my screens just a few
Yeah.
minutes ago after being interviewed on his expectation prior to the World Cup. He is hopeful that Brazil under Carlo Ancelotti would do the honors. Carlo Ancelotti has an array of young boys at his disposal, and he coached two of the boys from his time at Real Madrid, Vinicius Junior as well as Rodrigo, and hopefully he's able to speak one or two into them for them to do well. Because when you look at the Brazilian boys, they are a host of boys. There is a host of boys for Brazil to choose from. I think they've won the FIFA World Cup for 5 times, if
Yes.
my memory serves me right.
Yes, and their last victory came against Germany in Korea, Japan 2002. So that was the last time we had two nations co-hosting the World Cup, and this is the second time such a thing is going to happen. I think subsequently we are going to see more countries hosting it. So I think Brazil, as you simply put, they have quality players, especially Ancelotti, coaching those boys at Real Madrid, winning the Champions League with them. And there's a new star emerging, Esteval.
Esteval.
Yes,
Esteval.
yes.
FC
Also,
Chelsea, Esteval. Okay. You know, when you talk about FC Chelsea, I mean, he's now emerging as the poster boy in the absence of Cole Palmer, ice cold Cole Palmer. I mean, he's currently on injury, but Esteval is stepping out in his place. I mean, when you talk about Esteval, I mean, he needs no introduction when it comes to being on the big screen, because, I mean, I've watched several clips of him from the tender age of 10 years, and he seems to be a boy that is ready for the big occasion. And you in their last friendly game they played against Tunisia, I think it was a 1-1.
yeah.
I mean, when you have the big boys like Casemiro, Marquinhos, Rodrigo, Vinicius, and you're handed a penalty to play and you dispatch with that sort of confidence, it tells me that they have high hopes for Esteval.
Yes, and at the moment he is the eye of the Brazilian national team. It used to be Vinicius, but due to his performance, it dropped. Rodrigo is not getting that much playing time, and I think Esteval has been on ascendancy for some time now. After getting that opportunity in Chelsea's first game against West Ham United, he lit up the stage, and since then he hasn't looked back. That game against FC Barcelona, a big game against all the odds, he came in, scored that wonderful goal, and he scored that same goal against Chelsea in the Club World Cup, playing for Palmeiras. So I think Esteval at the moment is the eye of the Brazilian national team. He has been confirmed by Neymar, Ancelotti, and some few Brazilian legends. And if you have your status approved by these legends, my brother, then you're on your way to stardom. You should just manage it well.
But don't you think that it's going to put excess pressure on the young guy? He's merely 18 years of age, and for them to put that pressure on him, don't you think is excessive?
Yeah. It will take those around him to manage him well, because we know of Lamine Yamal. Let's bring him into the picture to as a form of an example to Esteval. If you have good people around you who can manage you very very well, you surely get to the top. And we know these Brazilians, when they get the spotlight, they get the fame, then they tend to misbehave, because most of them are coming from the favelas, poor neighborhoods. When they get to the top and they get money, then they begin
So
chilling.
it
For
looks
them,
like the stardom gets into their head.
yes,
They are mostly opinionated with the stardom. They are unable to handle it.
yeah,
We've seen what has happened to most of the guys. They've
Neymar.
unable to. Neymar, the Silva dos Santos. He used to be the poster boy of Brazil. I mean, there was a lot of high hopes for Neymar. I felt that he could reach that particular status or stardom, but yes, he did his best. I mean, when you are the third best player in the absence of Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi, you come next. I felt that he should have taken that mantle, but his move from FC Barcelona to Paris Saint-Germain in the league, I feel didn't really pay enough dividends. And currently, his plan is trading Santos. He's hoping to help them to escape relegation. But Estabal, like you mentioned, he's stepping up the plate, and hopefully he'll be able to soak the pressure, quote unquote, and take Brazil to the promised land, because it's been a while Brazil won the FIFA World Cup.
Yes, and they've not been performing well of late. Their performance has really soared in the qualifiers, even in the Copa America and other tournaments. They are not doing so well. So it took them some kind of energy to just qualify for the World Cup. So I believe Brazil, anytime they come to the World Cup, and a World Cup without Brazil, it's like you taking in tea without sugar.
Mm. Mm.
Yes, because Brazil, come on,
It will taste sour.
even if they are not in their best form, when Brazil are in the World Cup, that's where the excitement is.
The Samba boys.
Samba boys, it's like you playing AFCON that Ghana is not part. If Ghana were to be part of this AFCON, the hype could have been very, very, very up there, because Brazil have dominated world football. Every year there's a star from Brazil.
Yeah.
Estevao is the latest. We saw Andre Santos and others coming up. They've produced quality players who Pele is one of the
Yeah, Pele. He just mentioned Pele. Yeah.
Becoming the first player to score at the age of 17 in a World Cup final, dominating the Jairzinhos, the Zicos, the White Pele, as they used to call him, the Revelinhos, Romario, Bebeto, Dunga. The list is endless.
The
down
list
to
is endless,
Ronaldo, Nazario Lima, Kaká. So Brazil, I don't know. Football is what they also got, and they've really marketed their football so well. Recently, we saw two Brazilian teams playing a final.
Yeah, Palmeiras and
Palmeiras
Flamengo.
and
Flamengo. Yeah.
An exciting news. I think Brazil, when it comes to football, they are really up there.
So let's see how it goes. I mean, Donald Trump is one of the three persons that have been invited for uh, the draw. I mean, he's making some remarks. He's making some remarks. You know, Donald Trump. I just hope he won't make any controversial statement. I mean, Donald, like he always goes, he doesn't go beyond controversies or below controversies. He'll just sneak in one there for you to think about. Mauricio Pochettino is just on the screens, the United States of America head coach. I mean, he's not had it any easy for him. In the last 2 years, it's been topsy-turvy for him as the USA manager. This is a man that a lot of people know from the English Premiership from Southampton. He moved to Tottenham Hotspur, then to PSG, and then he went to the Americas with USA. So let's just see if he's able to handle the pressure that comes to managing one of the host countries in the World Cup, because I feel that there will be a lot of pressure on Mauricio Pochettino. The height I expected him to reach in managing that is PSG, he was unable to manage those heights, but I mean, favor found him. He's now the manager of USA. Let's hope that he's able to replicate that feat. We've spoken about Brazil, the Black Stars, some of the African countries. Let's touch on the defending champions. But before we touch on the defending champions in Pot 1, Okay, so Canada, Canada in pot one. Canada, Canada is doing pot one.
Yeah.
Yes, so Canada is doing pot one. Let's see how the other pots also go. So Canada is currently in Group B. Canada is in Group B. As things stand now, I mean, let's see how the other groups go. Mexico,
Mexico.
Mexico. So Mexico is also one of the three host countries. So we've done that is Canada. We've done Mexico. So in Group A,
Donald
in
Trump.
Group A you have Mexico. In Group B you have Canada.
Hmm.
So let's see Group C.
USA now. He even knows that it's going to be USA.
I mean, this guy,
Interesting.
he's just full of. This is shocking, there. This is shocking.
He should.
So, like Donald Trump rightly predicted, USA will make Group D. USA will make Group D. So Group A, we already know Group A for Mexico, Group B for Canada, and Group D for the United States of America. So these are the three host countries, and they will know their opposing countries that they will play against. Let's see how the other ones also go. So currently, Group A, Group B, and Group D. That's the
yeah.
host countries.
So he thought USA was going to take
The Group A.
Group A,
Yes.
but per the draw, anything is capable of happening. When you pick the ball, you just move your hand through the ball that you get shows how far the draw is going to go, and it's interesting. Let's see what happens. The three teams will surely get to know. But an update: journalists were stuck outside in the snow for hours as Secret Service officials search every bag.
Yes. So in coming to this studios, I chanced on that particular feed, and there's been a host of people or a host of journalists, like you put it. I mean, the security is tight. The security is not any mean feat. I mean, you have a host of journalists that are queuing up in order to get into the main theater for this particular event, and the security services, they are the ones in charge of this particular operations. They are searching every bag to make sure that, I mean, nobody has any explosive whatsoever.
Yeah, and during the FIFA Club World Cup, it started. I watched a game. Chelsea played a game in New York City also, and they had snipers positioned on skyscrapers because America, they've had history with um, this terrorist attacks and all that. The 9/11 attack, which claimed loads of lives at Ground Zero some years in the year 2001. The 9/11 attack. So it's good. It's good. They have to beef up security as well. Visa issues and all that. They recently blacklisted some countries, and Ghana has been taken off that list, and we scored zero in there. So meaning the visa issues and all that. So I think every country, when it comes to immigration security wise, you have to beef up your security system, unlike some parts of Africa, especially Ghana, where people can enter anyhow. In America, you can't do so. Even Donald Trump, the war between USA and Mexico, he directed the people to paint it black, to prevent people from Latin America from moving into the country to seek for greener pastures. So I think security wise there is good, and we are going to see more of this before the World Cup.
When it comes to the United States of America, they are always uh, very, lack of better words, extra. They put in extra effort when it comes to security.
Yeah, of course, very true. And as I said earlier, or they've had history, series of histories with terrorist attack and all that, because you don't know who might be coming into your country. You might not know who might be coming into your country with weapons someone might come into a country as an informant to pick up information. And when you go to America, they have the CIA and the FBI. The CIA is in charge of intelligence and all that. The FBI recently came to Ghana. They picked up a couple of people for investigation and all that. So I think it's good. It's good security wise, and we have to also pick a cue from what they are doing, because when you come to Ghana, people come to Ghana and they do all manner, all sort of stuffs here, and it's very even difficult to trace where they are coming from. So we need to pick a cue from what the United States they are doing, because someone can't just come to your country and just do what he or she likes in your country. No, you have to make sure that the immigration laws are working. They are working, because some of these countries, especially Ghana, people come into our country, but you can't go and misbehave in their country. No, 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 you dare not go into their country to misbehave. So if America is doing this, they are trying to protect their citizens.
America trying to protect its citizens when it comes to security, and a host of countries that will be coming, the participating countries as well as fans. Let's see how it goes, because when it comes to security, it's one of the cogent things that America prioritizes, because the 9/11 attack is still fresh in their history, and they would not want a repetition of what happened some years ago, because I'm sure that you will want to protect it when it comes to security. So, like we've said already, the first group, that's Mexico, Canada with Group B, and Group D has, that is the United States of America. Other countries will know their fate. I'm seeing Thomas Starkill, that's the England manager. He's currently in there.
In the year, Thomas Tuchel, one of the fine gentlemen is when it comes to football. After Jurgen Klopp did so well with Liverpool, winning the Champions League, the Super Cup, and the Club World Cup, he follows it, becoming the second German coach to achieve such a record. Then he coached PSG. At PSG, he had to manage egos as well, managing the dressing room, a whole lot of stuff. And he's currently with the England national team, and he's trying to build a team with good understanding for the World Cup. But the English media, as always, will have something to say about a decision a coach takes. Recently, Jude Bellingham, they played against Albania, and he got angry because he was taken off for his close friend Jacob Ramsey
Yeah.
to take his place. But you know, football, you can't play with stars. At least you need to bring people. He's trying to build something, that kind of chemistry, understand, and that has been the problem of the England national team till date. That's the main reason why they've not been able to win a single trophy over the years. Because in 2002 they had quality players, the Steven Gerrard,
Frank Lampard,
Frank
Wayne
Lampard,
Rooney.
Emil Heskey, David Seaman, and the rest. Every year England have stars. In the dressing room, we have players from Manchester United, players from Liverpool, players from Arsenal, players from Brighton, and all that. All that kind of cracks, because they all believe if I go and meet my teammate from Manchester United, surely there will be that kind of interest. So there won't be that kind of understanding in there. But to take the coach to unite the players together to win the World Cup, and that has been the main thing when it comes to the English national team. In 2006, the main reason why the Italian national team was able to win the World Cup was that Marcello Lippi was able to manage the egos in the dressing room. This was a team that boasted of a rich talent factory. You can talk of the Del Pieros, the Francesco Tottis, the Camoranesi, the Buffons, and the rest. But he was able to bring all of them together, because these were boys who were playing at the highest level for the Juventus, the AC Milans, the Inter Milans, who were on that ascendancy back in those years. But he was able to unite them together under one flag, and they were able to win the World Cup. So I think Thomas Tuchel should do same, learn from past experiences, how for some big coaches were able to manage egos within the national team. Because when you look at this England national team, egos won't papa. Players like Jude Bellingham, Phil Foden, and the rest, there are much egos in them. That's the main reason they've not been able to win a World Cup or even an European Championship. So I think he has a whole lot of work to do.
So when it comes to the English national team, they are one of the loudest when it comes to world football. I mean, they always tout themselves with the English Premiership as one of the best, but in the last few years, we've seen how it's folded up. Um, England, when it comes to the media, I feel pushes unnecessary pressure on the boys because in qualifying to this particular World Cup, they didn't concede any goal. They won all their matches. They didn't concede any goal, but the media still found a way to make some news about the English national team. And like you mentioned, Jude Bellingham is one of the big boys when it comes to the English team playing for Real Madrid in the Spanish Premier La Liga. One would expect that he would play consistently, but as per coaches, they would want to look at oppositions and players that will fit a particular role and the strategies they need to deploy in making sure that the boys do well. But you know, once he's Jude Bellingham and plays for Real Madrid, he's got to play. Once you are Marcus Rashford, you play for Barcelona, you have to play. Once you are Harry Kane, you play for Bayern, you have to play. They feel that all the big boys would have to play, but you know there are certain matches that you might need maybe a player that plays for Nottingham Forest or Aston Villa because he can do the work and do it well.
Of course, and it's like it's a bona fide property for some of these players. It's like an asset. Okay, if I'm in this position, then it's even with the Black Stars. Some people, quote and unquote, believe that some positions have been reserved for some players and you can't take it away from them. But as a coach, try to create competition in the team. And at the moment, England have equally good players who can play in the position Jude Bellingham is playing. Elliot Anderson of Nottingham Forest is doing quite well. And so far this season, he's the talk of town, one of the best midfielders in the English Premier. Jacob Ramsey is in there. So in that position, if you have like three players who can give Jude Bellingham a competition, then you should know that, hey, I have to sit up. If care is not taken, Elliot Anderson is going to take my position for me. Jacob Ramsey will also take my position for me. So when I'm at club level, I have to do everything possible to make sure that I improve my performance to make that position a contentious one for those who are contending with me for that position. So I think Thomas Tuchel is trying to create some kind of competition within the team, and that's what we want. That's what every coach should do. Make sure that you create a position. And when you go to the England national team, at left back they have players in there. At right back they also have players in there. On any day they can still give their best. So I think competition is good, as you said. Create competition for the players so that those who know that they are untouchable in the team, they'll have to sit up and perform well.
You have to set up and perform well. The English national team is not a bona fide property for anybody. Just like any other of the national teams, you are not Cristiano Ronaldo to be the very first player on the starting bed. Even with Cristiano Ronaldo, I'm sure Martinez will be hacking a plan for him, because if Martinez fails to do well with Portugal in the World Cup, I won't be surprised if he's sacked.
Of course, surely. And this is the last time Cristiano Ronaldo will be gracing the World Cup. Oldest player to score a hat-trick in the history of the World Cup. He's been around since 2006. They had the Eusebius, the Rui Costas and the rest. And this is a man who carried the Portugal national team on his shoulder, winning 2 trophies or 3 trophies, 2 UEFA Nations. And people were like, oh, it's a glorified final. We don't classify the Nations League as a top-notch competition. But if today Cristiano Ronaldo retires, it will be added to his cabinet or his trophy cabinet that at national team level he won 3 major trophies. And I before coming to the studio, I read somewhere a former England international was like, even if Cristiano Ronaldo doesn't win the World Cup, that shouldn't be a justification that he's not a legend. He's a legend in his own right, because he has done, to me, if Cristiano Ronaldo doesn't win a World Cup, he's a legend. Boss, tell me, how many players have dominated world football like the way Ronaldo has done?
Very few players.
Very few players.
Off the top of my head, very few players.
No. We are talking about players who are playing 19, 18. Trust me, those players can't stand to the level Cristiano Ronaldo.
They can't do it consistently for 15, 20
with
years.
Lionel Messi,
Yeah.
13 Ballon d'Or between these two since 2009. Even in their worst season, they keep on churning statistics. Last year, Ronaldo finished as the top scorer in world football, contending with Erling Haaland, players in their 20s, and he's not ready to leave. I don't know if he has gone for I refuse to grow old. Wakwakwaji said Ronnie Vidia.
Cristiano.
Yeah, Cristiano
Oh,
Ronaldo, and he's good. If today he retires, I think Ronaldo has really done a whole lot. And I always say this: the day Cristiano Ronaldo retires, football won't be enjoyable again because he has really done a yeoman's job. Moment that he didn't expect Portugal to be performing, he comes up with the goods, he scores, and let's see what he offer his nation at the World Cup. His
Cristiano
last bar.
Ronaldo, when it comes to world football, he needs no introduction. One of the best players. Consistently, he's been top of his standards for the last 20 years. Cristiano Ronaldo has done it. Started from Sporting Lisbon through to Manchester, then Real Madrid. He ended up with Al Nassr in the Saudi League. He's currently helping them with chances of winning the SPL. Hopefully, he's able to win the SPL with them because in that league, there are a host of teams, big teams in there. But when it comes to the World Cup proper, I mean, Martinez will be hoping that Cristiano Ronaldo, with his able leadership, will be able to lead a gallant array of stars, the likes of Bruno Fernandes, Man City's Bernardo Silva. You have Diego Dalot, Ruben Diaz, Rafael Leao. When it comes to Portugal, I mean, the stars are there. They have a host of stars. But one issue I've had is how to gel these stars into playing very well. What I liked the most was how they were able to beat. I think their last game they won about 7 or 8 goals to 0. I think Armenia. When you do that consistently, you get to instill fear in your position. They know that when they are coming up against you, you are going to whip them by a bigger margin. And in that particular game, interestingly, Cristiano didn't play that game, and that was the game they recorded one of their biggest score lines by 9 goals to 1. The question still remains that does Cristiano need to start games, or are there games that he should be maybe sidelined for other younger guys to start? I mean, this has been a multi-million dollar question for a host of people.
Yes, and no matter what happens, Cristiano Ronaldo will always start in the Portuguese national team because they see him as an icon. He is the live wire of the Portuguese national team, even if he's injured and he's on the bench. The last time he sat on the bench without playing that game or coming on was against Morocco when Felipe Santos benched him against Morocco. He should have started that game, but he was placed on the bench, and Portugal ended up losing that game. And that was the main reason why Figo and others spoke ill about that decision from Felipe Santos to bench Portugal's greatest player of all time, putting him on the bench against Morocco in the semi-final where Portugal needed a victory, and he decided to bench him. So I think Ronaldo on any day will start, but I think they have to get to a place from the bench, maybe at least 30 minutes, 40 minutes. You come and play, then give his best because he has gotten to 40 years, and last year, pardon me, next year will be his last time with the Portuguese national team. The 2026 World Cup will be his last. So just give him some playing time. But I'm not sure they are going to bench him. They always want to see Ronaldo because people come to the stadium because of this man. He has done a lot for his nation. He has sacrificed a lot for his nation. So putting him in, even if you put him on the bench or you don't start him, the whole nation will come after you because he's an icon. He's like, how do I put it? He's like a phoenix for the nation. So if you put Ronaldo on the bench, you have yourself to blame.
So I don't think that Roberto Martinez would want to risk putting that's Cristiano on the bench in their first game. The first game, I think he'll play in the first game after that suspension.
Yeah,
suspension. He'll get to play in the first game. So you will see Cristiano Ronaldo for Portugal. You see them for Portugal. Talking about their cross rivals, Spain, Lami Yamal's Spain. I mean, they are also in there. They are also pre-tournament favorites.
Yeah. And on any day, Spain will surely, you can tip them to win the World Cup, because it's not easy. They've seen it all when it comes to football, winning the nation, what, the Euros
The Euros.
in 2008, following it up with the World Cup in 2010, and also winning the 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 European Championship in 2012. So within that span of 4 years, Spain won three trophies with a well drilled and oiled squad. The Javis, the Iniestas, the Capdevillas. They had Ike Casillas, Victor Valdez, Carles Puyol, Sergio Ramos, David Sanchez Villa. Golden generation that left a mark, an indelible mark, and an indelible pattern for future generations to look up to. So Spain on any day will be favourites, and they are, at the moment they are doing quite well. 2014 didn't go well for them. They crashed out of the group stage. That was the time that their team was in a transition. 2018 didn't go well for them. They were kicked out in the round of 16 by Russia. So I think Spain on any day will be favored, because they have the pedigree. They play good football, attractive football. Even their league is the second best in the world. When it comes to Champions League, their teams do dominate. So I think Spain, yeah. Um, if we say we talk about Spain, no,
Adebachi, let's move on to the World Cup draw. It's still ongoing. If you haven't subscribed to the channel as yet, please do so to click on the button below to subscribe to the channel. It's still watch along of the FIFA World Cup, which will be staged in North America next year. We've already had Group A. Group A. We've already had Group A. We have Group B and Group D. So Group A, we know where that says Mexico will be. They'll be in Group A. Group B will be Mexico, and Group D, that would be United States of America. So these are three countries, or the host countries. These are the people or the countries that are going to host it. So live on our screens we have that is Rio Ferdinand. He played 81 times for England. He is a centre back, one of the big names when it comes to England national team, and he spent a host of his career with Manchester United. Even before then, he did a summer transfer of £30 million. He was regarded as one of the expensive defenders at the time when he was moving from Leeds United to Manchester United. He played 81 times for England, and he's a big one when it comes to world football.
Yeah. Rio Ferdinand, one of the big guys. I always enjoy watching him. The Champions League review and all that. That transfer you are talking about, from Leeds United, and they needed money that season because they were in crisis, and not knowing there was an underground work to get Rio Ferdinand play at Old Trafford, and that transfer went through, and the Leeds United fans at Bramall Lane Stadium were like, oh, so he was a betrayer and all that. But he has really lived up to the top, coming in as a youngster, playing alongside some big guys, the John O'Shea's, the Roy Keanes.
I mean, John O'Shea, Paul Scholes, Darren Fletcher, I mean, Rafael da Silva dos Santos, the brothers. I mean, he played under a host of teams, and before he eventually retired, he served his quota for Manchester and England as well.
Yeah, and he's one man I always love watching. He has that funny side, that flip side and all that. So I think Rio Ferdinand, playing under Sir Alex Ferguson, one of the top British managers and top managers in world football history. So I think Rio Ferdinand has really paid his dues so well. And if you look at the position he played as a centre back.
Yes, a centre back.
And he was a commanding figure.
You know, those days he used to play with Gabriel Heinz, or he'd either play with Nemanja Matic. Hey, Nemanja Village.
Yes, one of the finest players to have played in the England. And Gabriel Heinz is now the defense coach for Arsenal, and they are doing so well under his leadership. He once played for Real Madrid
and
as
Manchester
well. So these guys are doing well when it comes to their punditry. I always learn a lot when I enjoy watching them. So Rio Ferdinand, we doff our hats off to him. He has really done so, playing for the England national team as well in the 2006 World Cup in 2010. So he's one of those top guys.
One of the top guys, Rio Ferdinand, he together with Samantha Johnson, they will be the co-host for today's FIFA World Cup draw that is currently ongoing in Washington D.C. of the United States of America. Before we had Heidi Klum as well as Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart is a big personality when it comes to comedy in the USA and globally. Everybody knows comedy Hart. Kevin Hart, the short guy, he's very short. I mean, I'm even taller than him though. So,
Jumanji.
yeah, Jumanji. I mean, with Chris Rock and the other guys. So we are still bracing up, and we are still lacing up, and we are still pumping up for the FIFA World Cup. 42 countries have qualified so far. The senior national team, the Black Stars, is in there. We'll know our team. We'll know who we'll play against. Um, Literally by the end of the show, we'll know who we are going to play against, because we need to know who we are going to play against so that we can start the preparations ahead of time. Talking about preparations, in November we played the Kirin Cup in Asia, and we played against Japan as well as Korea. And if you know Japan and Korea, these are countries that consistently we've been playing against. We've had a lot of friendly matches against them. Some we've won, some we've drawn, some we've lost. In the just recent current 2025, we lost all the two duels, but it goes without saying that, I mean, the last game against South Korea, we brought our A game to bear. Even though we lost, we brought our A game to bear.
Yes, of course, and these were two important games for the Black Stars of Ghana, because the AFCON tournament could have been the best platform for us to play against some of the big boys on the continent, the Moroccan national team, Cape Verde, and others. But we didn't turn up for the AFCON qualifiers because we were joking. We didn't take it serious, and now we have to settle for the World Cup. So I think playing against Japan and South Korea, these are teams consistently qualifying for the World Cup, and they've shown their pedigree when it comes to the World Cup. So playing against them was, to me, a good test for us. But we need to play more
Friendly games.
yes, tight ones.
So in March, I think we'll get another international window in March,
Yeah,
where we
in
can
March.
play friendly games.
Yes. But this could have been the best opportunity for us. But the AFCON, no, we didn't take it serious because the commitment level wasn't there.
It was very low.
Was very, very, very low. Frankly speaking, if we had qualified for the AFCON, the discussion could have been different by now. We could have been talking about the build out to the AFCON and also the World Cup. But now, well, let's see what happens next year when the international window comes around.
So talking about the international window and people that will be hopping in a draw, currently we have, like I mentioned, Rio Ferdinand as well as Samantha Johnson. They will be the host. Aaron Judge is one of the guys that will be helping in the draw. Tom Brady is one of the other guys, as well as Wayne Gretzky. Wayne Gretzky. He is one of the guys that will be helping. So just live on my screens, Shaquille O'Neal, he entered the theater, and when you look at Shaquille O'Neal paired by Kevin Hart, I mean, it looks like a big mismatch because Shaquille is such a huge guy.
Yeah, very, very powerful guy in basketball as well during his days.
Yeah,
I think he played for one of the American NBA teams.
NBA teams, yeah.
Yeah, very, very powerful guy. This is more like a David and Goliath
Fight.
when you look at Kevin Hart and
Kevin Hart
And
even
Shaquille O'Neal.
doesn't even match up to
Yeah,
the
yeah.
waist of Kevin Hart, Shaquille.
O'Neal.
He's so short. That
Mm.
guy is so short.
Kwani Etia.
Wait
Very
here,
short.
Ankasa. So we'll do the draw. The draw will get up and running very soon. Let me run through you the people who are going to help in the draw. We have Tom Brady, Wayne Gretzky, Aaron Judge, Shaquille O'Neal, as well as the host, which will be Rio Ferdinand and Samantha Johnson. So these are the guys that will be helping in the draw. And Aaron Judge, he is a 3-time champion of the American baseball. So it tells you that when it comes to American baseball, he's a very big figure. That's Aaron Judge.
Yes, and baseball is one of the followed sports in America aside basketball.
Mm.
Um, Baseball, people turn up to stadium to watch baseball. So I think he has really paid his dues and three-time league winner in there in baseball. Baseball is an interesting game, more like cricket.
Yeah.
So the Americans they pick up sports and they change it. Football is
It's,
soccer
it's
in
soccer
there.
for them.
So and their cricket is baseball, and I don't know, but I heard Donald Trump saying that soccer in America they have to call it football. They have to change the name. He said it in his fact,
they
and
need
that's
to.
the same thing.
They need to. So
Yes,
on
I
my
think-
screens currently is Tom Brady. He is a seven-time champion. Seven-time champion when it comes to the Super Bowl. So seven-time champion Thomas Brady. Shaquille O'Neal, he is a three-time champion of NBA. Yes. And Kevin Hart, I don't know what he's trying to do, matching up to Shaquille O'Neal. I mean, that's a mismatch.
Then he seems to amaze us, Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart is always has something under his sleeve. Always has something under his sleeve. He's a big comedian. That is Kevin Hart for you. So in pot one, let's see how it goes. In pot one, that is Canada for
Canada.
pot one. Pot one has Canada. Yes. So Canada is one of the
Host nation.
three host nations. We have Mexico too. Mexico, and the USA. So Christian Pulisic, USA, and Lamine Yamal, Spain. They are in pot one.
Yeah.
Pot one. So pot one has a lot of big weights. We've seen Argentina, we've seen France, and now we are seeing Brazil. Also in pot one, we are seeing Brazil in pot one. Portugal, Cristiano Ronaldo's Portugal. They have been able to make pot one on that particular occasion. So pot one has big heavyweights. Virgil van Dijk's Netherlands, they have made pot one, and Memphis Kwesi Depay's Netherlands, they are in pot one. Belgium will be led by Kevin De Bruyne as well as Romelu Lukaku. They are in pot one, and not forgetting the German machine. So these are the big weights in pot one.
Yes, and Netherlands, talk about them underachievers in the history of the World Cup.
Yeah,
They played in 3 finals without winning.
they've lost all.
They've lost all. Their last loss in 2010. Belgium, despite having a golden generation, the Hazard, the Axel Witsels,
Kevin De Bruyne,
still
Tommy Alderweireld,
they went
Thibaut Courtois,
to win a World
Axel
Cup.
Witsel, Roman Niagolan.
Yeah,
I mean, they had stars under Roberto Martinez. But he
They weren't able to
failed to just get the juice out of that team, because when they talk about Torgan Hazard, Eden Hazard, Romelu Lukaku, I mean, these are guys that were doing it consistently for their club side.
And Nasser Chadli, Kevin Mirallas,
Yeah.
Mickey Batshuayi.
Mm.
They had almost all the top stars in there. Simon Mignolet, Thibaut Courtois.
Yeah.
So you see, they should have at least one with one World Cup or one European.
Or one European competition, the
Competition.
Euros or something, too, because to have a Belgium generation just face out without winning anything, I
Then-
mean, it doesn't sit right with me.
Yeah.
It doesn't sit right with me. But for me, I feel a host of the problem should lay at the doorstep of Roberto Martinez. I mean, the Spaniard international, unable to get the juice out of the boys. I mean, I feel that he didn't manage that particular team very well.
Yeah.
So the draw is still ongoing. Let's see. Wow. Brazil. So I'm seeing Ancelotti's face.
Yeah.
Ancelotti, sometimes it's difficult to read his emotions.
Yeah,
You don't know
yeah.
whether he's sad or
Sad.
he's happy or he's in a jubilant mood. So Ancelotti's Brazil are in Group C. Group C. So in Group A, you have Mexico. Group B, we have Canada. In Group C, Brazil. And in Group D, we have USA. USA.
Hmm.
So it's turning up to be
Yeah.
a very interesting one. Julian Nagelsmann, he's the German machine head coach. I mean, he formerly served as the Bayern Munich manager. He is currently the head coach of Germany, and his side are in Group E. Group E
Yeah.
currently.
The Diamond Shaft of Germany,
Mm.
four-time winners of the World Cup. Last victory coming in the 2014. After that, their performance really went down. 2018, and they went into the World Cup with a goalkeeper who who was out injured for the whole season. While they had a goalkeeper who performed so well with Barcelona, Marc-Andre Ter Stegen.
He's currently injured
Yes,
and he's
and that's
recuperating.
one thing I've always questioned the German national team. Ter Stegen should have been safest pair of hands after Manuel Neuer, because that year Manuel Neuer wasn't at his best. This was a Ter Stegen guy who helped Germany win the FIFA Confederations Cup in 2017 prior to the World Cup, but he was kept on the bench while Neuer kept the post half injured, and they went into Sami Khedira and others. So I think Germany, their football went down. They weren't performing as expected, and now they've qualified for qualification. There, they will still qualify, but their performance hasn't been the best for some time now.
So in Group F, you have Netherlands. In Group G, that is Belgium. And in Group A, España. That is Luis Fuentes. That is the head coach of Spain. His side will be in Group H. In Group H.
Yeah, the La Roya of Spain, the Reds, from the Mediterranean, a good side by all standard. When it comes to football, one World Cup in 2010, two UEFA European Championship. Yeah. Group I, Argentina.
So Argentina in Group I, Walter Samuel is in there. He's the assistant coach for Luis Scaloni. He's watching with keen interest where Argentina will be, and they found themselves in Group I. Very soon they will know their opponents who they will be paired in. The three
Ghana.
other. No. we can't have Argentina. We can't have Argentina. We need a favorable group.
Okay.
So Argentina will be in Group J. In Group J, Argentina will be in Group J. They had to skip Group I, but let's see who makes Group I. So in Group A is Mexico. Group B, Canada. Group C, Brazil. D is for USA. E is for Germany. F is for Netherlands. J is for Belgium. H is for Spain. And J is for Argentina. France will do Group I. France will do Group I.
Yeah, and Argentina winning their first trophy, home soil in 1978, led by Mario Kempes. 86, they won it in Mexico. So they know the Americas so well, and they've played they played the Copa America Centenario in America, so they know the American continent so well. And if you look at these South American teams, they've been dominating in the Americas. So I think Argentina, they have a good squad by all standards. They recently played against Angola, and
Yeah.
Angola had to pay $12 million just to see them play at their stadium. And they on any day, you expect Argentina to do so well, and they have good players also coming through. And their coach is one of the finest guys, Lionel Scaloni. He played with Messi at the 2006 World Cup, and look at what he's doing, winning the Copa America back-to-back and winning the World Cup in 2022. After Randall Kolo Muani missed that chance to win the trophy for France.
That would have sealed it for France.
Imagine if it were Mbappe. Could have, but
So Group K has Portugal, and Group L has England. So live on our screens as a World Cup winning player, Iker Casillas. He played for Spain some years ago. He was in there with Spain. That is Iker Casillas. He served with Spain. He played with the likes of Carlos Puyol, Gerard Piqué, Marcos Senna, David Villa, a host of players, Fernando Torres, a host of players. And when it comes to goalkeeping, he's one of the great goalkeepers for Spain. You don't mention the goalkeeping department without mentioning Iker Casillas,
Yeah.
and his side will be in Group H.
Group H.
Yes,
Spain.
yes. So currently we know the top sides that are in Pot One. So Mexico, Canada, Brazil, Germany, Argentina, Netherlands, Belgium, Spain, France, Argentina, Portugal, as well as England, the Three Lions. England. So England have won the World Cup just once, 1966. That was the only time they won the World Cup, and they haven't been able to replicate that feat. They've come closest sometimes, I think the quarterfinals, but they've not been able to replicate that feat. Hopefully, let's see how it goes. So in Pot 2, that is Luka Modric, Croatia. They are in Pot 2. We have Morocco from Africa. Morocco, their exploits in the FIFA World Cup last year has seen them. Thumbs up to them. They are in Pot 2. Colombia from South America. Luis Diaz's Colombia. They are in Pot 2. Uruguay.
Yeah,
Valverde's Uruguay. They are in Pot 2. Pot 2. Let's see. Switzerland.
Yeah.
That is Jordan Shaqiri's Switzerland. They are currently in Pot 2. They did very well in that particular qualifying series. Japan. Oh wow, Japan.
Tanaka, Kubo.
Yes, Kubo, Tanaka. They made it to Pot 2. Senegal, Sadio Mane, Senegal.
Yeah.
They are also in Pot 2. They are one of the highest ranked sides in African football. Iran, the Republic of Iran, they have made it to Pot 2. Korea Republic,
Son
Heung-min's Korea Republic. We played them in a Kirin Cup where they beat us too, but we gave a good account of ourselves. Enna Valencia's Ecuador,
Moses
Caicedo, FC Chelsea's Moses Caicedo. He's emerging out as one of the big talents from Ecuador. Then you have Marko Arnautovic, Austria, and also Australia. They are the sides that have made it to Pot 2. Yes, so the sides that have made it to Pot 2. So it's turned out to be interesting in Pot 2. Very, very, very talented side. Morocco, Senegal, Austria, Australia, Ecuador, Uruguay. I mean, they are top sides when it comes to Pot 2. Croatia. Let's see how the draw goes, because already we know the sides that have made it in the Pot 1. We know the top sides. We know the likes of England, Portugal, Spain, France, the usual suspects. They've made Pot 1. Let's see how Pot 2 goes. Pot 2 promises to be interesting.
Yes, especially Croatia, making their first appearance at the World Cup way back in 1998. They reached the semi-final.
Yeah.
Led by Davor Šuker.
The
legendary Croatian player who played for Real Madrid. Fast forward 2006. Since 2006, they've been at the World Cup 2010, 2014. 2018 was a breakout for them, reaching the World Cup final, finishing second. 2022, finishing third, led by Luka Modric. And he has guided the squad to yet another World Cup.
So Korea will be in Group A. Korea will be in Group A with Mexico. Korea will be in Group A with Mexico. Yes, Korea will be in Group A with Mexico.
Wow, that's interesting. Mexico, South Korea, Switzerland.
So Switzerland are also going to be in Group B. Switzerland will be in Group B alongside Canada. Switzerland will be in Group B alongside Canada. Well, if you ask me, it looks like a favorable group for Switzerland. Yes, Switzerland will be in Group B alongside Canada.
And their coach, Murat Yakin, a former Switzerland national player. And they are one team that you don't bank hopes on, but they can surprise teams in the group stage. The Bro Embolos, the David Indoy, the guy who plays for Nottingham Forest. So they also have equally good players. Yeah.
So let's see Group C. Group C already has Brazil and Morocco.
Hey, goodness me.
Oh, Morocco. But you know, I believe my boys. I believe Morocco will give a good account of themselves. I mean, they like one thing I know about Morocco is that they are braced up for the action.
Yeah.
They know what is expected of them.
And recently, the under-20 team beat a South American team in Argentina to win the World Cup. And
Yeah.
they are doing so well development wise. King Mohammed V investing much into their country's infrastructure. So they've done the Kangaroo Nation.
So Kangaroo Nation, Australia.
Australia.
Australia will be in Group D alongside the United States of America. The coach doesn't sound too pleased. He doesn't seem too free. Please, his facial expression is depicting a coach that didn't want to face one of the host nations, because playing against the host nation, I mean, it has its own vibes that comes with it. So we'll move on to other groups. In Group E, let's see how Group E fares out and pans out. Group E already has the top side in Germany.
Yeah.
Ecuador will do Group E alongside Germany.
Germany, a tough one in there for the Ecuadorians. And 2006, they were there as well. They've really fought their way to get to where they are now. They've done quite well when it comes to the World Cup qualifiers, especially in South America where the competition is tough. And in South America, traveling to places like Ecuador, Bolivia, it's always a difficult one, and they've been able to qualify. And Japan will move to, I think, Group F. Yeah, Group F.
So Japan will move to Group F alongside Netherlands. Yes, it's not so much of a difficult group if you ask me. Alongside Japan and Netherlands, Japan can scale their way. Netherlands can also scale their way through to the next stage of the competition. Let's do Group J, and Group J already has Belgium in there. Belgium would seal their fate alongside Iran. Iran.
Yeah. The Islamic Republic of Iran.
Yes. So let's see how it goes. Belgium with Group J alongside Iran. So
and in 2022, they played against Wales and they won that game by 2-0 or so. They had to win in 90+7 in that group stage game. They have Mehdi Taremi. He has played for FC Porto, and he has also played for a couple of teams as well. And he's now with Olympiacos in the Greek Super League. He's one fine player, and Iran have been around for some time now. One of the powerhouses when it comes to Asian football. Uruguay, Spain.
So Spain and Uruguay, that will be in Group H. That's a big one when it comes to world football. Group H.
Group H.
Yes, Spain and Uruguay. I mean, we know what it promises to be. In Group I, we have France. France will be awaiting their opponents. Let's see who France is going to play next. They are playing Senegal.
A repeat of the 2000.
Senegal. France will do it against Senegal. A repeat of 2022. France will do against Senegal. Let's see how France will do it. It's not going to be easy playing against your colonial masters.
And Spain against Uruguay.
Another colony. Yeah, so let's see how it goes. Argentina. So Argentina from the CONMEBOL region, they are the defending champions of the FIFA World Cup. They have been pitted against, that is Austria. I think it's favorable if you ask me, against Austria. Austria did very well in the qualification series, but playing against Argentina, it won't come easy.
Yes, and Anatovic is in there.
Yes, Marco Anatovic. Yes, Marco
Anatovic.
Yes, Kelvin Danso from Tottenham Hotspur.
And surprisingly enough, they have most of their players playing in the German Bundesliga. Most of their players playing the German Bundesliga. Yeah.
So let's move on to other groups. We have Group K. Group K, we have Portugal. Portugal will be pitted against Colombia. So Luis Diaz's Colombia and Moises Caicedo's Colombia. This is a favorable. You see, the Colombians play with a lot of aggression and agility. I mean, if Portugal do not do well, they will have it all to play for against Colombia. So let's do the last one. The last one is England, the Three Lions of England. I don't know why they call them the Three Lions. They just won one World Cup. They still call them Three Lions. They'll do Croatia. So 2018, these guys met, and we know how it went.
Kieran Trippier's free kick at the Luzhniki one Croatia. England won that game by
by a long goal.
yeah.
So
No, Croatia kicked them out
yes,
by 2 goals to
by
one.
2 goals to
Perisic
1.
and Perisic scoring that goal.
So England and Croatia in Group L. So let's do a recap of the groups. Currently in Group A, we have Mexico and Korea. We have Mexico and Korea for that as Group A. So it looks like a fair group if you ask me.
Yeah, a fair group for Mexico, and it's not going to be an easy one. Mexico, they are currently going through a tough time when it comes to their national team. They are not performing as expected. South Korea, on any day, they can cause a stir in the World Cup. So let's see what happens.
So in Group B, you have Canada versus Switzerland. Canada versus Switzerland. That is Group B. I mean, Canada, Switzerland. I mean, it looks like both two teams can seal qualification to the next stage if they do well. But before we do the other groups, let's do Pot 3. Pot 3, we are starting with Norway.
Yeah.
Norway were scintillating, amazing. Erling Haaland, they, like I said before, they won all their group games. Then we are doing Panama.
2018, they were there.
Yes. So
they denied USA qualification to the 2018 World Cup.
So Panama is doing that is Pot 3. Egypt, yes, the Pharaohs of Egypt, they are in Pot 3. Egypt, they are in Pot 3. They are from Africa though. So Algeria, that is Algeria from the Desert Forces of Algeria. They are also in Pot 3. Scotland, Scott McTominay's Scotland, they are there in Pot 3. Yes, they are there in Pot 3. And let's see, Paraguay. They are from the Congo region. They are heavily represented there. And Tunisia in Pot 3. So we have 3 countries from Africa in Pot 3. Yes, 3 countries from Africa in Pot 3. Oh, it's a 4 now. Cote d'Ivoire. So Cote d'Ivoire also did Pot 3. Cote d'Ivoire did Pot 3. And Uzbekistan. Wow. Uzbekistan qualified as the top side in their group. Yes. And Qatar. Qatar also is there in Pot 3. Qatar is there in Pot 3. Let's see how it goes. Saudi Arabia.
So they are leaving.
Yes.
Salem Al Dawsari, their captain, plays for Al Hilal in the Saudi. And the team with the more local players, South Africa, Hugo Bruises.
South Africa, they denied our brothers, our Niger qualification. Niger, don't worry, we are behind you. Don't worry, we'll support you in AFCON. Don't worry, Niger, I'll support you in AFCON. Okay, don't worry. But in the meantime, support us in the World Cup. Niger, don't worry. So we've seen the sites in Pot 3: Cote d'Ivoire, Egypt, Algeria, Tunisia. These are sites for Pot 3. So let's see who they get pitted against in that as their various groups. So let's do Group A first. And Group A, we already know Mexico
and South Korea
and Korea. So let's see.
Group B has Canada, Switzerland. Group C, Brazil, Morocco, South Africa.
So South Africa is doing Group A.
Wow.
I mean, it's a fair group if you ask me. Hugo Bros is chinning up a bit of a smile there because playing against Mexico and Korea, I mean, they could qualify. Korea DPR, I mean, South Korea, they played against Ghana as one of their sides.
And
so they
South
prepare
Africa
themselves.
And Mexico will be meeting for the first time come next 16 years. They played their first game at the 2010 World Cup where they drew 1-1. That Shabalala go at the soccer.
Oh, that was the first goal of the FIFA World Cup. Yes, in 2010.
2010.
Yeah.
That famous Peter Drury goal for South Africa, goal for Africa. That legendary
commentary. Yeah, so
line.
Group B, you have Canada, Switzerland, as well as Qatar.
Qatar.
Yes. So Qatar are in Group B alongside Canada, Switzerland,
and Qatar. It's not going to be easy.
So Group C has Morocco and Brazil. Let's see who our African brothers will get. Paraguay. So it means they are playing against 2 CONMEBOL countries. They play Brazil and they play Paraguay.
And I'm envisaging a tough game because anytime these 2 South American teams meet in the Americans, and they're meeting the Americans again, a familiar territory for them, and they've been dominating this territory. So Brazil's group probably might be another group of death.
So USA has
Paraguay rather.
okay. So they are doing Paraguay rather. So and they actually skipped Group C,
yeah.
and they went to Group D. So Group D has USA, Paraguay,
Right.
as well as Australia.
And we always mix Australia with Austria.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Yeah.
So let's see Group E. Group E has Germany, Ecuador, Cote d'Ivoire. So Cote d'Ivoire, that is our African brothers. Cote d'Ivoire, they would be in Group E against Germany and also Ecuador. Emerson Fair, he's that's the head coach of Cote d'Ivoire.
Yeah.
I don't think he sounds too pleased. Julian Nagelsmann is affording a bit of smile because he knows he could get 6 points off Cote d'Ivoire and Ecuador, because the way Julian Nagelsmann was smiling, I mean, it should tell you that he knows he's got a fair group.
Yeah. And it's going to be because the main reason why they didn't draw Ivory Coast is that they are from the same confederation with Morocco, so therefore they had to skip to the other groups as well.
So Tunisia would have Japan. Tunisia would have Japan and Netherlands.
Yeah.
Yes, Tunisia will have Japan and Netherlands. I feel Tunisia have presented themselves as a good force for Africa, and they should be able to get themselves something, maybe 4 points or 6 points from this particular group.
Yes, and they are also doing well. They qualified without conceding a goal, and they scored more.
So Egypt, that is our North African brothers, they would be in the group alongside Belgium, the Islamic Republic of Ireland,
Iran,
Iran, as well as Egypt. So that makes up for Group G.
Group G, a tough one. And Hussam Hassan, their head coach, is there. So and Iran, they have Rudy Garcia, the former Napoli coach. He's the head coach of the Iranian national team. It's going to be a big one between the two Islamic nations who have the same faith and all that. So
Iran and
Egypt. They are Islamic.
So Scots McTominay's Scotland. Scotland. That is, they have themselves in Group H.
Okay, Scotland will go back to Group C because of we had two teams. Morocco could have been in the same group with Ivory Coast, but due to the confederation draw, they had to move to the other group. So Scotland have been placed in Group C, a tough group for them.
So we have, that is Group C for Brazil, Morocco, and Scotland. So Saudi Arabia. So Saudi Arabia are going back to Group G against Argentina. These are familiar foes. They met in the 2022 World Cup that was hosted in Qatar. And okay. So they're actually going to Spain. So Spain, Saudi Arabia, and Uruguay. Yes.
Another interesting group there, and we go on.
Let's see how Group I goes. Algeria. So this is Algeria's 5th appearance at the FIFA World Cup. They have been paired against France.
Senegal, that confederation.
So let's see Group J. Group J has defending champions Argentina. And Argentina will play Algeria and Austria.
Another tough game in there for.
So if you ask me, this is the battle of the A's. So we have Algeria, Argentina, Austria. So the battle of the A's.
So can we say triple
A? So triple A for J.
Yeah.
So Group H has Portugal, Colombia, and Uzbekistan.
That's Group K. Okay.
Group K, yes. Group K. For Uzbekistan. So the Uzbekistan coach is smiling. For some reason he's smiling. I don't know whether he has the firm belief that his side can actually make it
Even if
out
they
of this
don't
group.
qualify, it's a good one for them because
It's an experience.
experience.
Yeah.
Because for them coming to the World Cup for the first time as dark horses, maybe they are. I don't know how to put it. It's a good moment for them, as you said. It will add up to their football facing some of the top guys. Panama.
So Panama will do England. I don't know why England always gets the easier ones, if you ask me.
And they beat Panama 5-0.
Yes.
2018.
England is doing Panama.
Panama.
I'll not be surprised if England whitewashed them for about 6 or
And if
7.
you look at the group phase, if you look at the two teams in England's group, they played Croatia in the semi-final. And they also played Panama in the group stage with Hurricane scoring, Raheem Sterling all scoring. And they are getting it. Who knows if we might also fall in that group.
So Panama, if you know, prior to entering into the studios, a lot of people were doing England. They were hoping that we should get England. Let's see if we are able to get England on this particular occasion. I don't know why the French coach Roman Dominic is excited.
Yeah.
Is super excited. So
No way.
he is getting Senegal and getting Norway. I don't know. He's bracing himself for something feisty.
In Mbappe versus Erling Haaland.
Erling Haaland. Okay.
And yesterday we had a debate on a different platform. The battle between Mbappe and Haaland. Who is the best attacker? So this will be the debate of the World Cup. These two players meeting on the field of play. I can't just. Oh, gosh.
That's a big one. So Yaya Toure, he is African Footballer of the Year. He won African Footballer of the Year some years ago. He's currently being interviewed what he thinks about Cote d'Ivoire's group. Cote d'Ivoire are currently housed in Group E alongside Germany as well as Ecuador. It's not easy. It's not going to be easy because Cote d'Ivoire play something similar to what Ghana play.
Yeah.
Ecuador play something similar to what Cote d'Ivoire play. Very aggressive sort of play. So let's see how it goes.
I'm waiting. You see, the reason why I don't know. I'm feeling nervous.
I feel Ghana can get Group L with Croatia, Panama, as well as England.
Oh God, give us a good group, a favorable one.
So let's do Pot 4. Pot 4.
Hmm.
Ghana is one of the least ranked side when it comes to
New Zealand, Curacao, Haiti, Jordan.
Ghana is one of the least. So Jordan makes it to Pot 4. Jordan makes it to Pot 4. And yes, Jordan makes it to Pot 4. Cabo Verde also make it to Pot 4. Cabo Verde is from Africa.
First appearance at the World Cup.
Yes, first appearance at the 2026
Oh,
FIFA.
yes.
Ghana also makes it to Pot 4.
Yeah.
Yes.
Say Ghana.
We'll say Ghana,
We'll say
the Black Stars
Yeah.
of Ghana. Let's see if we'll be
Curacao.
able to impress. Curacao. Yes, Curacao also make it to Pot 4.
Haiti.
Yes. Haiti are also in there.
They are
In
back for
Pot
the
4.
second time
Yes,
after
Haiti
1970.
are also back in there. New Zealand.
Yeah.
New Zealand. So just imagine the size that Ghana are in Pot 4 with New Zealand. Low rank sides when it comes to world football.
Yeah.
I mean, Charlie.
So the winner of the playoffs.
So the winner of the playoff,
Yeah.
and we also
I think the European playoffs, Sweden and other teams, the Poland and other teams will be Albania, Turkey. One of those teams will be in that order. The Pot 4, they will come in the two intercontinental playoffs plus the 4, because the Europeans won't play any intercontinental. So the best 4 teams for Europe will move straight and move into those groups. So I think the path has been well spelled out for everyone to understand. But I'm waiting for Ghana. It's because of Ghana I came here today. God, give us a favorable group group that we can manage.
So let's see how it goes. I'm in Ghana.
Jordan, Cape Verde, Curacao from there.
Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. I mean, we've had Group A, Group B, Group C, Group D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K,
L.
and L. So, Charlie.
Oh God, we are waiting for Ghana. We all this one is Ghana. We waiting for Hey, Nyankopon Buayen, why? God help us. Let's go to either group A or okay, we can't meet South Africa.
I'm not sure we'll meet.
Yeah, we'll meet
South
South
Africa.
Africa. Okay, Denmark, North Macedonia. The European playoff. Yeah, playoff. So that team, the two teams that wins will move to.
So the winner of Denmark, North Macedonia, Czech, Slovakia, and also Republic of Ireland will be in Group A.
Yeah.
Will be in Group A.
So interesting. Okay. It's heating up. Heating up.
So I'm just hopeful Ghana makes it from the IJKL.
You see, you want that side there. You want,
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Italy.
So Italy, Northern Ireland, Wales, Bosnia and Herzegovina. These are the countries that might make it to that S Group B.
So I'm sure we might end up.
Oh yeah, I mean those teams I would have to come for it.
Wow. I don't know what to even say. Haiti.
So Haiti are doing that
Oh.
as Group C. Brazil will be whipping there.
I told you, surely you are going to get some of the whipping boys. Ghana.
So Caraco will also do
Group D.
Group G. Group D has France, Australia, as well as USA.
USA. Someone is saying we want England and Croatia.
Yeah, that's the same group I
Yeah.
want.
England, Croatia. Hey, bro, a whole lot.
So, yeah. So the opening game will be Mexico versus South Africa.
Wow. Ghana. Okay.
So Iraq, Bolivia, Suriname.
Yeah, the interconfederational playoff. So the winner will move into that group as well. Yeah. So the winner of that interconfederational playoff, Iraq, Bolivia. So Iraq is awaiting the Suriname Bolivia game in that semi-final. Then we see who moves. Yeah. In group
So
I.
in Group I we have France, we have Senegal, we have Norway. Let's see who does. Charlie
The
Ghana.
winner playoff two.
Okay, so the winner of playoff 2
Yeah.
will be in there.
Yeah.
So yes.
Abu Boba. God.
Charlie ahead. Oh Charlie.
God.
I'm telling you. Okay, you can take them. So Cabo Verde will take.
Group
That
J.
is Argentina.
Argentina.
So if you don't take care, Ghana will do that Portugal thing again.
So are you okay?
So
Yep.
Ghana will either do Portugal or either do England.
England.
Yes.
God, just we want that. We want a favorable group.
Okay, so Spain will do Saudi Arabia. So Spain, Saudi, Cabo Verde, as well as Uruguay. Charlie.
Because of Senegal in Group F. So
Charlie, K and L.
K and L will give us one. Give us one.
So it is likely
Will fall in either Portugal or England's
or
group.
England's group.
Ghana.
Okay.
Turkey.
So Turkey, Romania, Kosovo, as well as Slovakia.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are the countries that might do
Group J.
Group J. So Turkey, Romania, Slovakia, Kosovo.
Yeah.
These are the countries that will do Group J. Every group needs an European participation or involvement
So
or a representation.
okay, the winner playoff goes into Group D.
Yes.
Where USA is.
Yes. So USA will have the countries I mentioned before: Kosovo, Romania, Slovakia, and the other guys. So Ukraine, Sweden, Poland, Albania. The winner of this particular duel will do.
Group J. Hey, good.
We'll do Group F.
Group F.
So Group F already has Netherlands, Tunisia, as well as Japan.
Yeah. Group.
So Jordan. Jordan are heavily represented. They are heavily represented. Jordan will be in Group J.
So now left with New Zealand, Ghana.
So New Zealand and Ghana will know their fate. Now we are left with.
Group K and L.
So we are left with no, that is J,
G.
and we are left with L. So the whole England Ghana thing is becoming
real. Okay.
So Congo DR, Jamaica, as well as New Caledonia, they would be in Group J. In Group J. In Group J. In Group J. Okay, so they will be in Group K alongside Portugal, Uzbekistan, and Colombia. Okay.
Need to get Ghana.
So Ghana can do Group J or Group L. So Ghana will, if no, but we have Egypt.
Yeah.
Oh, Charlie. We have Egypt there, so we can't have two African countries in the same group.
I think we'll go to Group L.
So Group L will have England and Ghana. Oh my
God! It's good. So
Otto's face has been shown.
Yeah.
I mean, Otto doesn't show a lot of emotions. Yes.
Wow.
So Ghana is in there. So Ghana, England, Croatia, Panama.
It's okay.
So Ghana, England, Croatia, and Panama. So one Sky Sports reporter, I've forgotten his name, he was actually of the view that Ghana and England would be in the same group. So now we know that we are going to face England. We already met the Lionesses of England. They battered us by 2-0. That was like 2 days ago. And now we are going to do it with the male side.
Yeah.
So England, Ghana, Croatia, as well as Panama. So if for anything at all, Ghana should be able to get 4 points from this group.
Yeah, sure.
Ghana should be able to get 4 points from this group. Ghana should be able to draw with Croatia. Ewela Monko is on the screens now. Ewela Monko. He lights up the screen anytime I see him. Asamoah Gyan. I mean, his name precedes him. His achievements precede him. He's been able to achieve a lot when it comes to world football. So Ghana is housed in Group L. So Ghana and England, Ghana and
Colonial-
England.
So we are having.
So we are having a lot of colonies.
Yeah,
France
yeah.
and Senegal are doing colony. Uruguay, as well as Spain, are doing colonies. England is also doing a colony. So let's see how it goes. So
Yeah.
currently we know our fate. We know our fate, but we'll run through all the groups. We'll run through all the groups in a bit of minute. So yes, we'll run through them very soon. So in Group A, we have Mexico, South Africa, Korea Republic, and the winner of the playoff D. Yes, in Group B, we have Canada, the winner of the playoff for A, and Qatar, as well as Switzerland. In Group C, we have Brazil, Morocco, Haiti, Switzerland, Scotland, and in Group C, in Group D, USA, Paraguay, Austria, and the winner of the playoff in Group C. In Group E, we have Germany, Curacao, Cote d'Ivoire, and Ecuador. In Group F, you have Netherlands, Japan, the winner of the playoff for Group B, and Tunisia. In Group G, Belgium, Egypt, Iran, Switzerland. In Group H, you have Spain, Cabo Verde, Saudi Arabia, and also Uruguay. Let's do Group I, France, Senegal, the winner of the playoff in Group 2, and Norway. In Group G, you have that's Argentina, Algeria, and that is Austria and Jordan. Interestingly, that's the AAAG. So the triple AJ group for that is Argentina's group. So it tells you that a host of countries have been drawn. We currently know our fate. The senior national team, the Black Stars, we know our fate. We have gotten somewhat of a favorable group. If you ask me, we should be able to get 4 points from this particular group. We should be able to get 4 points from this particular group. So we'll run through all the groups one after the other. Andrews will give me his prediction on which teams he feels they can qualify from that particular group. All the groups and the teams he feels they can qualify. So I'll give you the groups one after the other in a minute.
Ghana's first game is against Panama.
So if Ghana is going to play Panama in the first game, we should be able to clock all 3 points. That sets us in a very good feed. So let's run through the pairings one after the other. We'll start from Group A. And Group A has one of the host nation in Group A. Yes, so one of the host nations. So okay, so let me see. 1 2.
Mexico, South Africa, South Korea.
Yes. So that's for Group A. So let's run through Group A quickly, and tell me what you think about Group A.
Group A is going to be a tough one because all the teams have what it takes to qualify, but we are still waiting for that playoff spot to be filled. And I would say Mexico and South Korea stand a chance of qualifying. Group B has Canada, Switzerland, Qatar. So Canada, Switzerland surely qualify out of the group. Let's move to Group C, a tough one. Brazil, Morocco, Haiti, Scotland. For this one, straight Brazil, Morocco against no two ways about that. Group D, USA, Paraguay, Australia. It's a dicey one, but I'm tipping USA and Australia to qualify. But don't underestimate Paraguay because they're also coming from the South American region and they are a strong side to contend with. And Group E, Germany, Curacao, Ivory Coast, Ecuador. What a group, a powerful group by us standard. But I'm tipping Germany, probably Ecuador or Ivory Coast to qualify. Group F has Netherlands, Japan, Tunisia. Interestingly, all these three teams have what it takes to qualify, but the Tunisians haven't been quite okay when it comes to the World Cup. They always qualify, but they don't perform so well. So I'm tipping Netherlands, Japan to qualify. And let me go to Group G. Belgium, Egypt, Iran, New Zealand. Yeah, I have it. Yeah,
So it looks like interesting draws when you
yeah. Interesting draws when it
interesting
comes to
draws.
the World Cup. Belgium, Egypt, Iran, New Zealand. Group H has Spain, Cape Verde, Saudi Arabia, Uruguay. So I'm tipping Spain, Uruguay to qualify from that group. Group I, France, Senegal, Norway. Surely there's going to be a third best team out of this group,
Yeah.
and um, that could be Norway qualifying. Group J, Argentina, Algeria, Austria, Jordan. I'm tipping Argentina, Algeria to qualify. Let's go to Group K. Portugal, Uzbekistan, Colombia. Portugal, Colombia. No two ways about that because they've tasted the World Cup before, and Uzbekistan are coming into the World Cup for the first time. Group L has England, Croatia, Ghana, Panama. England, Croatia, Ghana. All these three teams can qualify to the next stage of the competition because if you look at subsequent past tournament, they've all made it out of their group stages. So it's going to be a tough one. All the three teams have what it takes to qualify to the next stage of the competition. Yeah. So I think that's my take.
So let's run through the countries that have qualified in the groups once again before we wrap up on today's watch along. Um, so Group A. So Group A has that is Mexico, South Africa, Korea,
South Korea.
South Korea, as well as the winner of the playoff. In Group B, you have Canada, Qatar, Switzerland.
Yeah, Qatar, Switzerland. Then Group C has Brazil, Morocco, Haiti, Scotland. Group D, USA, Paraguay, Australia in the playoff spot team. Group E, we have Germany, Curacao, Ivory Coast, Ecuador. Group F, the Netherlands, Japan, another playoff plus Tunisia. Group H, group G rather has Belgium, Egypt, Iran, and New Zealand. Group H has Spain, Cape Verde, Saudi Arabia, Uruguay. Group I, France, Senegal, playoff spots, and Norway. Group J, Argentina, Algeria, Austria, Jordan. Group K, Portugal, waiting for that playoff spot to be filled. Uzbekistan, Colombia. Then finally, Group L, we can talk about England, Croatia, Ghana, Panama.
So these are the groups, and from A to L, I mean every country knows who they are going to play in the FIFA World Cup 2026. It will be staged in North America. Pardon me, North America. Three countries, three host countries: USA, Canada, as well as Mexico. And the very first game will be Mexico versus South Africa. There will be a rerun of what transpired in 2010 when the two nations met. That game ended 1-1 for both teams. There will be a rerun again 15 years later in Mexico, between Mexico as well as that is South Africa. It's been interesting having you do this watch along with us. My name is Rafael Banaman Quote. You can call me Mr. Banaman. I did this alongside Andrews. Andrews, it was nice having you on the show.
Thank you very much.
Yes, and Andrews joined me with the discussions. We've been able to look at all the teams from Group A, Group B, Group D, Group C. There's been some interesting pairings. You have Morocco playing Brazil. You have Argentina versus Algeria. Ghana will play. That is England in there somewhere. And there are a lot of tasty duels when you ask me. And I hope that these tasty duels will serve their purpose. And they will give fans their money's worth. Because as Ghanaians or as soccer-loving fans from Africa, we'd want our countries to do well. So once Ghana is in there somewhere in Group L alongside Croatia, Panama, as well as England, the onus lies on the senior national team, the Black Stars, to do well against that is these teams. If you ask me, I expect that Ghana will qualify as one of the second or third best placed teams because they can rack up just a point from Croatia and eventually beat Panama by maybe 2 or 3 goals. For England, it will be very difficult, but anything is football. Anything is possible in football.
Yeah, of course. And this brings to mind the 2010 World Cup in South Africa, where we had Germany, Serbia, and Australia in our group. But we were able to make it out of that group as well. 2006, we had
Germany,
USA,
yeah,
USA, Czech Republic in our group, as well as Italy.
easily, yeah,
Still were able to qualify to the round
to
of
the round
16.
of 16
So,
where we lost to
2014,
Brazil.
we weren't able to perform so well after that brouhaha, issues with money, committee being set up. That was our worst World Cup ever. So we hope and pray that we'll perform well at the World Cup in North America and at least reach the round of 16, because at the moment our team is not the best, frankly speaking. So we need to beef up our squad before we meet Croatia and England.
So do you think it's a step in the right direction that you were in the last spot?
Yeah. Because it's been based on the rankings and we are not performing well. We weren't performing well, and if we had been performing well, we would have been in pot. About whatever happens to is okay. What if we had found ourselves in Spain's group or maybe Uruguay's group? It could have been a different ball game altogether. But having England and Croatia is good. For
So-
England, we've played them before.
Yeah.
2010 or 2011, we played 1-1 with them. But this is not the England team we knew back then.
I mean, there's been lots of
Yes,
transformation.
yes. And even Croatia, 2 World Cup semi-final, 3 World Cup semi-final, winning a silver medal and a bronze medal. So let's see what happens next year in North America.
So let's see what happens in North America. It promises to be an interesting one. We came to you with the watch along. Ghana has been pitted against Croatia, Panama, as well as England. Some of our African brothers like Tunisia will play Japan and Netherlands. Brazil will also play Morocco, and the other guys. So this is by way of the watch along that I did with my brother Andrews here, a host of fans across the world, a host of global superstars from different sporting disciplines grace the occasion at the John F. Kennedy Sports Center in the Washington D.C. of the United States of America. The likes of Shaquille O'Neal, Gretzky, Adam Judge, a host of guys, Rio Ferdinand, Samantha Johnson. These were the guys that supervised the draw, and I'm of the view that once the senior national team knows their teams that they are going to play against, I'm hopeful that right up until now, since we are not qualifying or we are not going to the AFCON, right up until now to the other margin, we'll be able to make sure that we get a couple of friendly matches for the guys, because we need to select our best. We need to select the very best. And once we select our very best for games against Panama, Croatia, as well as England, we should be able to get 4 or 6 points, because in football, anything is possible. Present your best bet, and once you present your best bet, you would surely make it past the group stage, because I mean, it's football. So
Yeah.
let's see how it goes for Ghana.
Yeah, of course. And at the moment, our squad is not the best as compared to what we had in 2006, 2010, 2014, and 2022. My brother, frankly speaking, the squad we have is not an elite squad. We are still trying to put our acts together. Even the teams we played in the qualifiers are not, apart from Mali in the group, Madagascar, Comoros, Chad are not at our level. But we are going to meet top teams in the World Cup. So therefore, we have to make sure that we play top teams. If need be, let's face England before playing them in the World Cup. Why not? We can face them. It won't be possible. But at least, let's try and see, or measure our weight against other teams in the same category of England. And I hope and pray that it's a tournament. Surprises might come through, and as always, Ghana will surely make Africa proud.
So Ghana will make Africa proud. That is the hope and belief. Ghana, the Lone Star, the Black Star, the Black Stars of Ghana, the senior national team. There's a hope and belief that they'll be able to hoist the flag of Ghana high, together with 9 other countries from Africa. The thing is that the Black Stars, I mean, when you look at the pedigree from 2006, 2010, we saw what they did. But years down the line, they've not been able to replicate that feat. Hopefully, we'll be able to right our wrongs, correct our mistakes. We'll be able to make sure that we sharpen our edges and iron our dresses very well in the lead up to the World Cup. I've done this watch along with you. You've been thoroughly engaging and watched us in this close to 2 hours and over. And it's been fun doing this with you, and it's been thoroughly fun doing this too with Andrews in the studio. Andrews, thank you for coming up through to us.
Yeah, and it's a privilege to be on this network for the first time. I've been following from afar, but today it's a privilege and an honor to be here. And I will say to all our viewers out there, those who watched us across Ghana, the 60 regions, and across the globe, we say a big thank you to them.
So we say a big thank you to you watching us from across the globe and in the country and beyond. I sat in for your regular host, Selassie Fawi. He had other engagements to partake in. My name is Rafael Banamanquote. This is by way of our watch along of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Ghana already knows its group in Group L alongside England, Panama, and Croatia. Let's hope that the Black Stars will do well. If you haven't subscribed to the channel as yet, please do so to click on the button below and subscribe to the channel. We'll give you all the exclusives and all the interviews in the lead up to the World Cup and beyond. This is Sahara Football. Keep hope alive with sports.